Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our family leisure studios. Connor with us producing. We're Sports Time, and we're with you for the next 3 hours. Plenty to get into today. Team USA at the half right now, trailing Serbia in the semifinal games. We've got a lot of baseball action, some baseball news. We've also got NFL preseason starting tonight with a doubleheader. I guess not a doubleheader, both games starting at 6 o'clock, but 2 games on the slate for this Thursday. We'll have a couple games tomorrow night, and then a lot of games Saturday and a couple games on Sunday. So a ton to get into over these next 3 hours. But Brett, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing great. Connor, the new skipper of the South Side.
That's right, yes. Taking applications.
Named to replace Pedro
yes.
Griffo. Why do that to that man?
It's a good question.
First of all, why hire him?
Honestly, Brett, that is the best question I've heard all day around this situation.
It was
I thought it was
unfair.
bad. I thought it was bad hire to begin with.
But you could, quite literally, could have gone back to Tony La Russa or a composite of Tony La Russa and Whitey Herzog and Casey Stengel and Tommy Lasorda, and nobody was winning there this year. No. Nobody was winning there 2 weeks ago. Nobody's going to be winning there 2 weeks from now. Why do that to that man?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Now, I don't know that he didn't walk in and go, guys, I've lost the clubhouse.
I've had enough.
I mean, that could have been the case, but Jerry Reinsdorf, and I'm sure he does, he ought to hit his knees every night and thank the Almighty from Michael Jordan.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because it's not nothing is good.
Did
with
win
the
it with the White Sox in 2005.
Did,
and it's had some good teams, but his ownership
it's been
run on both NBA
it's been really bad.
And baseball, but
really bad.
So Pedro Griffo, the first manager of the year out.
Yeah, who had that? I'm sure more people probably.
It was gaining steam.
It was definitely gaining speed, and I think a lot of it probably had to do with.
I like Greg Sizemore.
Yeah, I like that. I like that as well. But I mean, you look at this team. I don't think anybody on that roster really respected Griffal or really cared for him. I mean, even early in the season, you had Luis Robert. It didn't even look like he wanted to be there at all. Now he's still on the team. You had Garrett Crochet that was very out front about wanting to leave and
became de facto general manager.
Exactly.
At the deadline.
Yes, and so it did not feel like he had a good grasp on that locker room, and it feels like a change needed to happen. Maybe I know the argument is there of team's already terrible. Why not just wait till the end of the season?
Shake things up
and make a change. Why do you need to make a change? How many games are they going to win now that Pedro Griffal is out? I don't know how much that really matters, but
and a good baseball man, he'll land somewhere.
Sure, he'll land somewhere.
Unfair. I think the worst thing on earth is to ask somebody to do something they're not capable of. If right now management said, Brett, you swap with Connor and you run the board, we got nothing.
Yeah.
Probably less than we have on this side. No doubt we got less. As I've always said, there's one thing in that room I know how to run.
That's right.
And that's the on-off switch for the light.
Correct. Yeah.
That's it.
It gets a little tricky. There's 2 switches.
Pedro Griffal was more capable than that, being extreme. But nobody was going out there and winning 70 games this year with Chicago.
No. It was definitely back to a rebuild before it even started. And
I mean, to not lose 100, that might have been manager of the year stuff.
Sure, it definitely could have been.
Connor, is that accurate?
That is accurate.
Yeah.
I thought so. I know you know him well, and that franchise has pride. I mean,
definitely
won it in 2005. And been in contention all the time.
Sure.
Since then, in contention a few years ago. I thought they were can't miss with Don Tony a few years ago.
Definitely.
And I don't know how much he had left because we saw it in 2011 in the World Series and it happens. I've seen it in my life with loved ones. He had a senior moment.
Certainly.
And Lance Lynn comes in and La Russa said to him, "What are you doing here? Skip, you called to the bullpen since sending in Lance Lynn."
Yeah. It's not good.
Not good.
It's not good. But
and so he quit after that year, and then his friendship with Jerry Reinsdorf. And Reinsdorf had said the dumbest thing he ever did in sports was fire him back in the 80s before he went to Oakland, made them somewhat dynastic.
Sure, yeah. And so, I mean, I know there's a lot of talk ever since La Russa with the Chicago White Sox, his most recent stint. I never thought he was as bad as some people made him out to be, but
Tim Anderson got him good.
He sure did, and it's been rough. And you were right. I mean, you look at that team.
What's Anderson done?
Getting DFA'd from the Marlins is what he's done.
So we let that guy take out the second winningest skipper of all time.
Yes,
I hope he's proud of that.
Well, yes, not much to be proud of.
You
right
got Tony La Russa's horns for the last time.
Right.
Good work.
Yeah. But
Timo.
I mean, you look at that team a couple years ago, and on the fast track to being one of the fun teams of baseball, a really good team, and a team that, I love. It's really a NBA thing where they go, here's your league pass teams this year, and here's, the fun teams to watch, the teams that are always going to be exciting, and, they'll play good basketball, and, they got fun players. That was kind of the White Sox a couple years ago, and, really fun team to watch.
New Orleans is always that team in the NBA.
New Orleans is always
Look out for the Pelicans.
Yes, look out
I've been
for the
on
Pelicans.
Pelican watch for a while.
Yeah, so Grizzlies, ever since John Morant has gone to the Grizzlies, they've been a league pass team. Obviously, last year changed things with all the injuries. But, yeah, just with all the moves and sending a lot of guys out and really not doing much this past offseason to bring guys in. And, that kind of goes back to Reinsdorf and kind of the lack of commitment he wants to put to this roster and paying guys and bringing in guys that are going to cost, money. And
they're losing 95 next year.
Yeah.
They go to spring. Do they still go to Sarasota spring training?
I think so.
It has been forever. Reinsdorf used to threaten to go there until baseball had to pay off the collusion settlement and put a team in Tampa St. Pete. They were going to Sarasota every year. And before they report next February, they're losing 95 next year.
Yeah, you're right. So it's kind of a mess. And now with everything going on, I think there's still that idea of, depending on what happens with stadium and, Reinsdorf and anything, they could be on the move to Nashville. That's always kind of been a rumor out there.
That's the new Los Angeles for the NFL.
It definitely is Nashville. Baseball coming to Nashville. And the White Sox, there's been rumors out there.
Everything's perfect in Nashville except the traffic, the cost of living.
It's awful. It's so bad. It is so bad. Not fun at all. But, got fun things there, I guess. A lot of concerts in Nashville.
They certainly do. And the White Sox, they're going to lose 95 before opening day.
Definitely.
They do need a new ballpark.
Definitely.
And that ballpark was built in the classic in-between of moving away from the cookie cutters, the circular, dual-use NFL baseball that Philadelphia had, that St. Louis had, that Atlanta had, that everybody had. The Rams played where the Angels played.
Yep.
Everybody had that. But it was right before Camden Yards nailed it with the retro look. And they were in between, kind of like the Pyramid was. Kind of like Savage Center in St. Louis was kind of in between before we really got arenas right.
Right.
And the next generation did. Now, at all the ballparks, we've almost gone full circle with the retro look, the brick facade, the old-time look. We got new cookie cutters. They're just not big round houses.
Yeah.
Like we had in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, you're right.
They're all really kind of the same.
Yeah, they are. That is interesting how, one team does one thing and it feels like everybody kind of wants to follow them.
Well, Stan Meadows told me during the construction, Mike Heisley's right-hand man, and with Arnold, the late, great Arnold Pearl, was point people with Mayor Willie Harrington's office on time, on budget, a FedEx Forum. He said, we're very much copycat in the arena world. I don't know if Memphis went first or Charlotte, either right before them or right afterwards. They're about the same.
Sure, they are.
And a little too much upper deck now.
Yes, and now we are trying to address that, I guess. And
Stan knew quickly. I won't say it was day one, but it was no later than the second year. I got too many terrace seats.
Yeah.
Which terrace is a nice word for upper deck.
Exactly, yes.
And nobody wants to sit there.
No.
You can't make the ticket price cheap enough.
No. I mean, that's the thing. FedEx Forum.
I won't sit there for a simple reason.
Yeah.
I'd die if somebody saw me up there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the classic of, going to the FedEx Forum and, it looks like a packed house, and then you look up and you
look way up.
A lot up.
I got to get my neck back
that's right.
That position.
Right. And it's a lot of empty seats.
Almost lost my earphones doing my neck
You
position.
know,
Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay. So that was kind of the big news today with the White Sox, as they're now looking for a new skipper. Some other big news: Nick Foles announced his retirement.
Super Bowl
earlier
legend.
today.
He is.
Eagles
Philly,
great.
Philly.
Yes, Philadelphia Eagles great. I've said it. They should build a statue in honor of him.
I think they have.
Have they? Wow.
I think there's a statue.
Wow, is there a Nick Foles statue? I didn't know that.
I think
if there's not,
they need to start construction today.
Yes.
He should never pay a tab in the history of Philly again because for this simple reason.
How about that? There definitely is a Philly special
so.
statue. I
And
had no idea. Missed that.
Who threw the touchdown to him? Trey Burton from Florida?
I think that's right.
I think that's right. Kind of on really a tight end around Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Philly special. But
wow.
That run he got on that year, it wasn't just one game.
No, not at all.
He was dynamite down the stretch. And the starter was before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Wentz was great.
Was really good
before he got hurt out at the Coliseum against the Rams.
Yeah, and then Nick Foles steps right in and
he is by no means. You're going to get this today. Worst Super Bowl quarterback ever. He's not the worst winning quarterback ever.
Mm-hmm.
He may be the worst Super Bowl MVP winning quarterback ever.
I could definitely get behind that. Yes.
Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer, Jeff Hostetler come to mind for quarterbacks that really rode defenses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Foles won that game. That was a Lulu game. There wasn't a defensive play made. I was at that game. That was 52 in Minneapolis. And the last series of the game, when they forced the fumble on Brady, was only defensive stop all day.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean, it looked like an Arena Football League game most of the day.
I love a good Arena Football League game, except for this year. Arena Football is terrible this year, but that's okay. It's a different story.
Yeah.
They did make it through the season.
They got issues.
And had crowned a champion. But this Philly statue is what they call it. And it says at the bottom, "You want Philly, Philly," is a quote from that Super Bowl game, and it's Doug Peterson and Nick Foles. Remembered forever. I love that.
One fired and one
How about that?
out of football now.
I love that. That's
Philly though. Tough town.
One of the more interesting statues I think I've ever seen. But good for him. Definitely. We were talking before. Had his moment. You can never say Nick Foles didn't have a moment because that
cashed it in with the Bears and then got hurt. I don't crush the Bears for signing him.
No, not at all. I mean, I think
if you can predict injury, please tell me.
Please, yes.
I'd like that safe route home tonight.
Yes, every franchise in the country will hire you if you can predict injuries. But no, I mean, he cashed it in, and I think nobody really expected him after that to be a starting quarterback and a franchise quarterback by any means. But when you talk about a backup quarterback that you can rely on to come in if your starter gets injured and give you a really good option at the quarterback position, he was one of the best out there, if not the best out there. And so, no, I don't blame any team for wanting to go out there and give him a try. And I think, was a good option until all those injuries, and now retired, but definitely a good career in the NFL for him. The other big news today, Team USA in the semifinals against Serbia.
You sweating yet, Connor? Over?
Not yet. It's getting close.
When do you start sweating?
4 minutes to play.
In the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Double digits down, 4 minutes to play.
Yeah.
I like that.
Strength, power should overcome.
I think so. I mean, early in this game, Serbia was just making anything they threw up.
It was all-star game defense.
Yes. And even when they were trying
Brian,
defensively.
I'm covering you better than a lot of the defense early in the game.
Very loosely. But
now, Serbia was nice enough to play defense like that on the other end.
Yes.
And Steph Curry was making them from the Eiffel Tower.
Absolutely. And so now 65-59 the score with about 3 minutes left.
I'm not sweating. Just win, baby.
I'm not either. And so much
You degenerate gamblers out there. I know y'all want them to get over a point spread. I don't. I just want gold medal.
With that being said, I live bet Team USA minus 5.5.
Did I hit a target?
When they were down by like 20 points, 17 points, whatever they were down by.
Let me rephrase that.
Got a minus 5.5. How about that?
You people looking for gaming winning opportunities.
That's right. Yes.
I know y'all are concerned with the point spread. I'm not. It's just win, baby.
Well, it's interesting because we talked about it yesterday afternoon.
Because I bet on some really crazy things in my life, Bryce.
I'm sure
I can't run down degenerate gambling.
No. Well, yesterday when we were talking about it, the line was at 16.5. Later last night, it had gotten all the way up to 17. And then earlier today, John and I were talking about it. He was like, yep, Team USA later this afternoon, 15-point favorite. was like, it's gotten down to 15 points. And he was like, it sure has.
Vegas has long tentacles all the way to Paris.
They absolutely do. And so I was like, are you going to bet it? He was like, I don't know. We'll figure out. And as he told me, he was going by the liquor store after the show, and that he would, he liked.
That'd really make for sound reasoning and good judgment.
Yes, he said, I'll make my decision after that. I go, okay, that sounds like a great.
Always the best time.
Great time to make a bet. But I did not, and I sat long and hard thinking about it before the game started, and I decided to stay away from it. And then when I was driving up here, it had gotten down to 5.5. I said, all right, this is where we jump on it. Because you knew Serbia was not going to continue to make shots like they were early in the game.
So you saw opportunity.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You gotta see how it's
That's seasoned gaming.
Hey, we're learning, Brett.
Right.
We're learning. We might be young, but we're learning.
You're going to be teaching a class.
Hey, University of Memphis, you want a gambling class, hit me up. I mean,
shouldn't they?
Maybe, why not?
Was it totally legal?
Sure, why not? I mean, heck, Brett, I tell you all the time. I took a history of football, a history of college football, and history of baseball class
from Professor Reggie Williams.
I did. Yes, baseball was taught by him, and then one of my best friends took a fantasy football class. How about this, Brett? A fantasy football class where the class plays in a fantasy football league, and you learn strategies of fantasy football.
I know a lot of people would chuckle at the idea that's at a university.
Sure.
Look, there are a lot of fine arts classes.
Absolutely.
We all know ballroom dancing. I took it.
How about that?
Class of 28 with 6 guys in it.
Wow, love that.
And so had you pick a dance partner. You have those kind of classes in almost every degree of study.
Sure.
Usually a lot of those are at the end.
Absolutely.
As electives.
Oh, yeah.
Is that still the jargon?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I think a wagering class
why not?
You wrap that around math.
Yeah.
Would be a great. I think we ought to teach elementary children math.
Let's do it
through the prism of wagering.
Why not?
Be a lot simpler to learn.
It certainly would be.
Beats the hell out of the Pythagorean theorem, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Every day, and I think
like a 14 parlay.
There you go. Yes, yes. I like where your head's at, Brett. I like how you're thinking. But no, we'll see what happens with Team USA. If they can get through this game, this is the semifinal matchup. Winner will play France, as they got a big win earlier today over Germany. Loser would play Germany in the bronze medal game. That game earlier today was crazy. France had a big lead. Germany fights back. 10 seconds left. They're down by 2. Victor Wembanyama goes to the free throw line, misses the first one, makes the second one. They go down. France fouls, sends Germany to the line, and they end up able to run the clock out. So a really fun game earlier this morning.
And worse, France can be silver medalists,
which is incredible, especially being in
Paris.
That's
a big W.
It definitely is. And, I think we were talking about it. I think a lot of people were talking about it. This France team, I think everyone thought that they would be very competitive, but it felt like maybe an Olympics away from really contending for gold.
Well.
They have not played well at all, and I think that's more of that opinion formed as the Olympics are going on because of kind of some poor outings from
Never
them.
apologize for advancing in any bracket.
No. Winning is the name of the game, Brett. So we'll see. Right now, a minute left in the third quarter. Team USA down by 9. We'll keep you updated on what's going on
defense
from Paris. Yes, need defense to step up. And we've seen that second unit that they've been relying on has looked really, really good defensively. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see that group out there to start the fourth quarter. But let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, we'll talk more about the Olympics. We'll talk more about the game going on right now and some other medals that were handed out earlier today, some stories from the Olympics. 3:45, we'll talk baseball. Obviously, the big story of the day, the White Sox have made a change at manager, but also a lot of day games today, so we'll talk about the action that's been going on in Major League Baseball. 4 o'clock, Keith Smith from Spot Track and the Front Office Show will join us to talk the NBA. Plenty to talk about with him. Still off-season moves. Also, hopefully, by then we will definitely have a final score for this semifinal game. So we'll get his thoughts on Team USA, on if they'll be playing for a gold medal or for a bronze medal. 4:30, we'll talk the NFL as Week 1 preseason kicks off tonight with 2 games, Lions and Giants and Panthers and Patriots. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Greg Gaston will join us to talk Tigers, and a lot to talk about with the football team only a couple weeks away from their opener against North Alabama. 5:30, we'll talk about what's trending, and at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Summer is here, and it's time to party, so head over to Family Leisure for great deals like 24-foot above-ground pool for $19.99. All ladders, filter systems, and robotic cleaners, 20% off. Select in-stock patio furniture up to 50% off. Play gyms up to $1,000 off, and patio umbrellas, 20% off. Also, 4-person hot tub, only $29.99. And don't forget about the discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while supplies last. So head over to Family Leisure, 2120 Winton Road, just north of I-40.
He's Brian. I'm Brett, produced by Connor Dacus. We're Sports Time. We're with you until 6 o'clock, and we want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's our Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. That same number, 901-360-8255. All our guests will appear on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. As Bryant said, from our Family Leisure Studios, we're Sports Time, and it's brought to you every day in this hour by the great people at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Call them at 901-334-9673, but they want you to stop by the one and only Lexus dealership in town at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2024 flagship LS500, and you'll be driving in style. Great offers on all 2024 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Right now, Lexus of Memphis offering the golden opportunity summer sales event. At Lexus of Memphis, you get the highest standards in the industry. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day has got to be the fact that I'm officially nervous. We're going to the fourth quarter. 76-63 the score right now for the United States versus Serbia.
Got to win by 14 to win in regulation.
Yes, you do. And
in the fourth quarter.
I think they can do it, but it's going to be tough. They're going to need everything, all hands on deck for this final quarter.
Blame game's coming out to play if they don't win.
Oh, it absolutely will. I mean, there will be a lot of talk, a lot of questions, a lot if they're playing in the bronze medal game instead of gold.
As long as it's in bounds and sane, definitely. It's fair.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And so we'll see. But this game has not been fun for Team USA. Serbia is making a ton of shots, playing really well. But on the other side, Team USA has started to kind of pick it up, but still really struggling. Right now, Serbia, as a team, is shooting 51% from the field, 50% from three, knocking down 15 threes in this game. They've looked really, really good. So we'll see what happens in this fourth quarter. But other things happening with Team USA at the Olympics in the team events. Women's volleyball got a win earlier today to advance to the gold medal game. We talked the other day about women's soccer advancing to the gold medal game with a win over Germany. I know water polo was playing earlier today. I didn't get to see if they ended up winning that game, but they were leading last time I had checked in on it. So hopefully they advance to the gold medal game. And then a lot of eyes were on the men's 200 earlier today, and I believe the USA went silver bronze in that one. Noah Lyles, who was the favorite, I looked at his odds before that race. He was minus 400 to win gold in that race. He ended up finishing in bronze, and then after speaking with NBC, he said he tested positive for COVID yesterday. After
Are we still doing that?
Well. We are, Brett, unfortunately. He didn't feel well on Tuesday.
He
just said
body aches, temperature?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. He just said he felt sick.
Runny
he didn't feel
nose?
good. It's a good question.
When he told NBC that, did he have a mask on?
I don't think so. No. But I don't know. I haven't seen the video, so I can't make any promises. But I would guess not.
Is he trying to kill Grandma?
I hope not. But yeah, so he's blaming his bronze medal finish on him not feeling well, him feeling sick. He said he's not sure if he'll run in the 4x100 meter relay race, but did say that he believes the Americans have the speed to run the race without him. So we'll see what happens with him. But definitely right now, all eyes on Team USA men's basketball as they start the fourth quarter.
If we lose in basketball, you think anybody's going to say I had COVID?
I mean, that could become the new thing. Just blame it on COVID.
Huh. About 4 years late, isn't it?
That's right, yes.
My top story, 15.5-point favorite, the United States. That's what they were. That's what they are over Serbia. Doesn't look like they're going to get there. If the United States wins, at worst, they will be playing for a silver medal against the home country of France. But if you're not first, you may as well be 91st. Mm-hmm. After the Philippines last summer, it was gold or bust. Mm-hmm. It looks like gold may be out, and it looks like the idea of playing in a game where your bronze or fourth is really in play.
Imagine, fourth place. And Germany wouldn't be easy. Germany's good.
Won't be easy.
Germany's got a really good team.
And the recrimination and the critics are coming out to play.
Oh, yeah. No, it will.
Because nobody was asking except for some wise, maybe gamers.
That's right. Yes.
To cover point spreads. No, it was just win the goal.
Who cares what happens with a point spread? Heck, I have money on them to win by 5.5. I don't care if that hits or not. I just want them to win.
And I said almost 1 year ago after the Philippines, there's no way I send Steve Kerr to be the coach of that team in Paris after that performance.
You did. You said it. Here we are, though.
Here we are.
And we'll see what happens.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, it's the NFL, but it's not the preseason games tonight. I am excited about the preseason action tonight. I'm going to watch every minute of both of those games. But it's about the extracurriculars at practice this week. We've talked a lot about Giants and Lions. Both teams.
It's gone way over the edge.
It definitely has. Both teams were fined $200,000 after a.
What is DK Metcalf thinking? If he strikes somebody with that helmet, that's assault.
Yep.
What if he killed him?
That's a great question. That's where I'm getting to, because we had that earlier in the week where both the Giants and the Lions.
The leg hiked up at the Egg Bowl is one thing.
That's definitely.
But swinging a helmet at another man is another.
That's a completely different thing. So, and I vaguely remember hearing about this, but a memo went out by the league in June talking about how fighting at these joint practices, fighting at practice in general is a no-go this year for the preseason practices. So $200,000 fine for both the Giants and the Lions. But then last night it started being reported, I saw it on ESPN, that at least 5 fights broke out at Seattle Seahawks practice on Wednesday, including one, like you mentioned, Brett, in which star wide receiver DK Metcalf swung a helmet at cornerback Trey Brown. Definitely not a good look at all.
Horrible.
Not something you want to see ever, especially between two teammates. And so I'm curious to hear more about this. Oh yeah, I mean it would be awful. It's already awful reading it, but I want to see kind of more of what went into that. I want to hear from DK Metcalf and certainly some of the staff with the Seahawks.
I don't care what caused it. No, you don't do that.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, that is way past the line.
That is way past the line. My not top story. It is the full NFL preseason that begins tonight with 2 games, 3 tomorrow night, 9 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. A Super Bowl 38 rematch tonight with Carolina at New England. No Tom Brady or Jake Delhomme in that game, like in Super Bowl 38. But it will be a lot of Bryce Young and Drake May, I hope. Bryce Young, he took his lumps last year as a rookie. And Drake May, he's going to take his this year.
He definitely will, and definitely interested to see Drake May and what he looks like. We'll also see Joe Milton.
Shot Drake May's brother hit here in Memphis to beat Kentucky.
Yes.
And almost threw out a shoulder.
Sure did. Royalty.
So happy with it.
North Carolina. Then
Calipari sick to his fans on the referees.
Sure did. Yes.
What a nice move.
Well, yes. But it's going to be fun. Both those games. Really excited for both of those tonight. Both games starting at 6 o'clock. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break. And when we come back, we'll talk more about what's happened at the Olympics.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall pool bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. And in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns, to turnovers, and overturned plays.
After review, pass is incomplete.
Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV, and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and quotas apply.
Here for Brian Elder Roofing. For nearly 2 decades, we've installed some of the best roof systems across the Mid-South. To the tens of thousands of clients we've served, we are honored. So many of you call our team at Brian Elder Roofing your roofers. Our team is dedicated to serving you and keeping your family safe, dry, and mold-free. The recent hailstorms have caused massive damage, and many of these will go unnoticed for years, even though the golf ball-sized hail we've just experienced in the Mid-South compromises even the best-built roof system. Whether we find damage or not, your photos are securely stored for future reference. Call Brian Elder Roofing today for a total evaluation of your entire roof system free. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. Call me at 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303. Or visit us online at brianelderroofing.com.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. When you apply to University of Maryland Global Campus by August 29th, you'll pay no application fee. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience. Or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Get your app fee waived through August 29th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
The best golfers on the PGA Tour are coming to Memphis to kick off the FedEx Cup playoffs at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM will be broadcasting live at TPC Southwood throughout the day, Wednesday through Friday of tournament week, keeping you up to date with the latest tournament news. Our coverage from TPC Southwood and Sports 56 and 98.5 FM is brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Also sponsored by Sis's Log Cabin, First National Bank, Lonnie Grisani's, Banyan Tree Realtors, DeSoto Honda, Jim's Place, and South Haven Supply.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Looks pretty good right now, traveling up through the construction zone on 55 north and southbound over here between McLemore South Parkway. There's been quite a bit of radar on and off today in Arkansas as you travel down certain parts of I-40 out towards Forest City, over in parts of West Memphis as well. Crittenden County still moving right now out here on 40, let's say eastbound from Sycamore View Road all the way out into Fayette County. Havenly Showers is your curbless shower specialist. Transform your bathroom with a tub curbless shower conversion. HavenlyShowers.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus Supremacy. Here are your hosts, Brett Stack, Sports Movie, and Brian Gates.
All right, 5 minutes.
What's the nervous level? Everybody good? Connor, you good? I am too.
I'm good.
5 minutes down 5.
I think they're going to win. Down 5. There goes Jokic. Down 5 minutes. I feel good. I feel like they're going to win this game. It's going to come down to the wire. It's going to come down to the last minute or so.
Maybe free basketball at Play.
I would love that. Overtime would be great.
You know who's done an arena football game for that arena?
I don't know. Who?
Me.
You're kidding.
Memphis Pharaohs versus the Milwaukee Mustangs, December of 1995.
You're kidding.
Promise you. I'll send you a picture tonight of the sweatshirt.
Wow.
The American Bowl.
The American Bowl.
At Palais Omnisport in Versailles.
Why there? Why in France?
They were trying to grow the game.
Interesting.
Everybody's growing the game.
Everyone's growing the game, and very clearly, I guess for arena football, it didn't catch on.
It didn't catch here or there.
No, it didn't.
Neither
catch
place.
Either place. That's too bad. But yes, so I'm not nervous about this game.
And it was one more dump then.
Really?
It's nice now.
It's nice. Yes.
I think the actual name of it is something different than Play Omnisport.
Well, I like that. It's a good ring to it. 4-point game now.
It's very close to a grand metro station, train station called Gare de Lyon, and it's famous and beautiful.
Interesting. I'm curious the percentage of fans in the building right now for Serbia and USA, and then just who's just there to watch basketball.
How many do we have there? And I can tell you. If we're 20%, it's
Sure.
80-20.
Yeah.
This is Duke down in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
This is Kentucky down to the 42-year-old for Oakland.
Yes, it definitely
the whole
feels
building
like
turns on you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well,
ask Tiger fans about what it was like in Columbus.
Oh, yeah.
With Fairleigh Dickinson. Was it Fairleigh Dickinson late against Purdue?
Yeah, it was Fairleigh Dickinson.
As a 16?
Right, yeah, FDU.
They said people were coming in off the street to pull for them.
Well, and that because when I was driving up here, it was early in the game, and Jokic got fouled and went to the line. I think he had an and one or something. He goes to the line, and I mean, just deafening MVP chants. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's kind of impressive.
They hate us because they hate us.
That's right. And so now 2-point game.
What were you listening to it on?
I was watching it, so I had. I wasn't watching it because I was driving, but I had it hooked up to the video. And
because
so
a lot of years, Westwood is the Olympic home, and I think this year, was it iHeart?
It might be. I think it is iHeart, yes, because I've been getting emails from iHeart about what's going on at the Olympics.
This is the first Olympics I can ever remember working here that we weren't tied in with somebody with updates.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember doing that last Olympics. So my girlfriend, Melinda, she just sent me a text message. She loves the Olympics. She's not a huge sports person.
And we love Melinda.
She loves the Olympics. We love Melinda. She just texted me. This is the text I just got from her. What big Olympic thing is happening right now?
Well, that's your job.
That's right. Yeah, shame on me. I should be doing better.
Let her run IP and you run sports.
Yes, I said, so Team USA men's basketball. She said, I hear a lady next to me saying, come on, and other people are watching something.
And I'm glad we were calm and resolute. Look at the score now.
How about that? Tied game.
Knotted at 84.
Still 3.5 minutes left. Brett, I can get my cover. How about that?
Well, I don't know if we need to get greedy, but why not?
Win. I don't care at this point.
You can get it in overtime.
Be icing on top. I don't want overtime.
You think you can get it in regulation?
Sure. 3.5 minutes left. 6 points. That's all I need.
Oh, that's right.
No. I don't have the 15.
Oh, you sure could. I'm not shorting that.
No, I have 5.5. I got that live when they were down by like 15. So still an opportunity there.
See, Melinda's texting you really wholesome, bigger picture things. My buddies are texting me that yes, math in elementary and high school should be taught in a gambling format.
I agree. I mean that. Honestly, Brett, you say a lot of great things. That might have been the best I've heard in a while.
To heck with all that geometry and
who needs all that?
Yeah, needs a protractor.
Hope my mother, the school teacher, isn't listening.
You need to figure odds on a 3-team parlay.
Right? Yes, that's exactly what we need. A lot of good stuff.
Kidding.
Yes, no, we definitely are kidding. A lot of good stuff though at the Olympics today in terms of the United States of America. I mentioned earlier men's 200-meter final. The United States got silver and bronze. Noah Lyles was the favorite to win gold in that event. That's his best event. He won the 100-meter earlier this week, and he even said it, 200 meters my best event, so he was really looking forward to it. Ended up getting bronze and ended up blaming the bronze medal on COVID. Said he did not feel good since Tuesday, got tested yesterday, I believe, and has COVID, and so blamed the poor running, I guess you could say. I think you're medaled. It's pretty good running if you medaled. But he blamed it on COVID, said he doesn't know if he'll go on the 4x100. I think, honestly, I'm with you on that. But he doesn't know if he's going to run the 4x100.
He might have more of an issue than Jordan Brown had in his illness.
Oh, man. Jordan Brown, hope he's doing all right.
Yeah, me too.
You
think he soldiered through? I
think so. I wonder what he's doing now.
Yeah.
It's a good question. Women's long jump final, United States gets gold and bronze. Tara Davis Woodall wins the gold medal in the long jump. You ever long jump before?
No.
I've never long jumped either. Never long jump.
No, every jump for me is a short jump.
How about that? Yes. I mentioned earlier that in women's water polo semifinals, Australia and United States were going at each other. And when I left earlier today, it was still very early, but the United States was winning. They ended up losing that game, 14-13. So they're out in women's water polo.
Triple jump should be going if long jump's going.
Triple jump should be going. I don't see a final for that.
That was Mike Conley's dad's sport.
That's right. Yes, so I don't see anything. I don't see anything on that right now. There was another big event earlier today on.
If Mike Conley's dad had wanted to be, he could have been a great slot receiver.
Really? Wow. I guess.
I don't think the track coach at Fayetteville was dare going to let him play on football pads.
Yeah, I think you
John McDonald.
You stay with track, stay with what you're great at.
So instead, Mike Conley Sr. played not even AAA intramurals, but
love that.
The league I was in, which was low AA.
Sure.
Or high A. If
sure, there
like.
you go. I love a high
And it was, the renowned track athletes, including Jarvis Redwine. And needless to say, and they had a quarterback. They had, it was a boy from Dallas. I knew him. And he could throw it, I promise you. One step, 70 yards. So they ran goes all day against us.
Been there, Brett. Been there.
And by the end of and Mike Conley Sr.'s birthday.
Didn't go up against a track or an Olympic track athlete.
His birthday at Fayetteville every year was October 30th. Arkansas had a quarterback in football, Brad Taylor. His birthday was November 4th, and mine was a couple of days after that. And you could go out starting from Big Mike Conley's birthday through mine, and the party around town between Mike Conley, the football quarterback, and mine. Great. And we were all the same age, and we were celebrated 19, and 21 was really big.
Of course. Wow, that's awesome. A couple of weeks of just constant celebration.
And I told Mike Conley Sr. one time at a Grizzlies game, I said, it was cruel and unusual what y'all did to us. He said, we knew you couldn't cover us.
Oh, no. Well, that's what, when freshman year, I played intramural football, and we had the same thing. This group of guys comes out, and just running and just
athletic
dusting us.
Mismatch.
And one of the guys shows up late, and he's wearing a Memphis track shirt. And so one of my buddies was like, all right, what's the deal? To one of the guys on their team. He was
a shot putter?
He was like, yeah, we all run track. And we were like, oh, okay.
And get a big arm quarterback, and you have no chance.
Yes. And so we didn't even try the rest of the game against them. Some other medals, men's 100-meter hurdles, USA wins gold and silver. Grant Holloway gets the gold. Women's 400-meter hurdles, Team USA gets gold and silver. Sydney McLaughlin, she's just unbelievable. She gets another gold. In terms of medal count, Team USA now with 30 gold. That's 2 up on the People's Republic of China. Big lead in terms of just overall medals. 103, People's Republic of China next closest at 72.
Win that gold, and
it's
yeah.
Well, and there
good as it can be.
There was a lot of worry early in the year that they wouldn't win a lot of gold, and they were down kind of early on the gold, and so we were kind of worried on if they were going to be able to come back.
You're not just going to walk in and do this.
Come on,
CJ Hurt in the building.
He was here earlier.
How you doing, friend?
What's up?
Yeah, get a mic. Turn his mic up.
There you go.
Yeah, let me get this mic, man. How's it going, fellas?
Good. How you
doing? Sitting here pulling the U.S. through.
Man, I'm glad somebody's doing it. My king, my GOAT, greatest of all time. LeBron James out there, baby.
And I never sweated it, did I?
No, you didn't. I mean, even up there by 17.
Big wins. And we're bigger and better.
Better man than me, because I'm still sweating. My dad is calling me. I need to call him back. He wants to yell at me about why the hell Embiid is even on the court.
When I've taken some shots at Embiid. Nikola Jokic kills him every time he sees him.
Yeah. It is interesting with this collection of great players. You can say the world is caught up, and the world has.
For sure.
But individual nations aren't the world, right? Like France, the way they've caught up isn't like great.
Right.
Like they've made a couple of steps. Serbia has made a couple of steps.
The big steps coming in 28.
It is the biggest of steps. But like they don't have the collection of all NBA, all stars, all time greats on this team. Yeah. All right, Brett, how many all time greats would you say? Like Steph, LeBron, Kevin Durant, top. At the very least, top 15. Most people have them all top 10. Nobody else in this tournament has that many top 10 players all time.
They're 6 or 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way down the roster.
Booker.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embiid's going
to the Hall.
Yeah. I'm going to crack on him every time you go.
Every single time.
You mentioned your dad. Ask Courtney. How's the wife?
The wife is good. Shout out to all the teachers out there. Students,
for sure.
we don't really care about y'all. Y'all are fine. Yes. School started today. It was their first day back for the students. So shout out to all the teachers, particularly the ones at Arlington High School where the wife teaches at. Because I know today has been tough, boy, trying to deal with these kids.
Man. I can't believe it. Last time I saw you was in St. Louis.
Man,
how great was that?
What a trip. My first Cardinals game. First Cardinals game to run into Brett. That was incredible. I said to the wife,
I have on.
Nice.
Always rocking it.
I said to the wife, I said, hey, listen, babe, let's smile and take a picture. She said, who you sending it to? I said, I'm sending it to Brett. She said, oh, yeah,
That's 3 sections over.
And so send it to him. He's like, yo, I'm here. Wait, what? Hung out. Had a grand time afterwards as well. Like, it was a good trip. It was a good trip.
We had shots of water.
Absolutely.
That's what we had.
It was a hot day that day.
It was.
We needed some water.
You got to have it.
It was good stuff.
Great seeing you.
It was good stuff. Great seeing you, man. My God, up top 2 times.
There you go. Oh, 2 times.
I didn't try it again. Up top 2 times. There it is.
Go say hi to Kieran.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's get to a
another
break.
bucket, Kevin Durant.
What's the score?
My other GOAT, 91-89.
I think I'm going to get my cover, Brett.
No, you're not going to get your cover.
Oh, they have 89.
I'm ahead of you.
That. Dang it.
It's gotten. In fact, it's tied, isn't it?
Is it? No, that's 93 and 91. Or
Okay.
unless we just turned it over and
run this clock out.
Yeah, 20 seconds.
We got to do it.
Yeah.
We got to call the action a little behind.
That's right.
Yes.
No,
Dr. Flynn.
No, thank you. I think they're going to be all right. I think they're going to run it out. I'm not. But hey, I don't care. I just wanted to win. So you don't get the cover. That's okay.
Those days are over.
Exactly.
Style point days are over. As CJ said very well, they're catching up. They've caught up.
Yes. And I think especially when you get to bracket play, that's really when it is. Because that's the best of the teams that are there. I mean, you're not playing.
Now, they have one Hall of Famer.
Certainly.
But he's a really good one.
Mm-hmm. And hey, I mean, teams get hot, and they got hot early and knocked down a lot of shots. Yeah, they need to make the free throws. Going to the free throw line.
How many times we said that in our lives in
too many
basketball
times,
game.
and a lot of times.
Got to make these free throws.
Might come back to haunt you. But let's go ahead and get to a break.
Are we going to do the listener like that? We're not going to take it to the conclusion?
Well, they're shooting free throws. I mean, I think maybe by the time we get back, the games might still be going. We will at least update you on what happens when we come back. But we do need to get to a break. When we come back, we'll update you on Team USA. We'll also talk some baseball. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
Don't be surprised this week to see other jewelry store owners shopping at Genesis Diamonds. They'll be taking advantage of Genesis' most aggressive offer ever. All jewelry diamond engagement is marked down an extra 20% below Genesis everyday price.
That's right. The vault is open, and we're selling the finest handcrafted diamond rings at rock bottom prices now for a very limited time.
The GIA is the gold standard of diamond, certified accuracy and diamond quality.
Every Genesis engagement ring is included in this event from 8 carat up to 20 carat stones.
Value price on a GIA. Selection is Genesis Diamonds. GIA Diamond Extended.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Drive like a pro and support a great cause during the sales drive at Landers Ford in Collierville, Landers Ford South in South Haven, and Landers Ford North in Covington. We've provided over 100 new Fords to be driven by the pros at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Now they're all being sold with demo prices. That's right. Over 100 new Fords driven by the pros are being sold with demo pricing below market value. A portion of the proceeds go directly to the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. This is a once-a-year opportunity to trade up and drive like a pro while supporting a great cause. Visit LandersMemphis.com. That's LandersMemphis.com. Or come see us at Landers Ford in Collierville, Landers Ford South in South Haven, or Landers Ford North in Covington. With our Landers Easy Pass, you can get top dollar for your trade-in to help you save even more. Don't miss your chance. Reserve your demo price new Ford driven by a pro at the FedEx St. Jude Championship and lock in low APR financing. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, they're proud to be here for their neighbors while giving back to communities across the state throughout the year, every year. This month, they're honored to stand alongside 1,600 dedicated volunteers as they make this year's annual FedEx St. Jude Golf Tournament fundraiser a resounding success. Giving back to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, which helps treat and defeat childhood cancer, is a meaningful effort that is very close to their hearts. This year, their goal is to reach $3 million in donations for kids at St. Jude's, and they couldn't do it without the support of their amazing volunteers. To all the participants, thank you for being a part of this most important endeavor to lift up so many families across the state from right here in Memphis, Tennessee. To read more about Team Blue volunteers, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, Healthy Places, and other ways they're devoted to helping our communities, please visit bcbst.com.
Memphis, the playoffs are back. Come see the PGA Tour's best compete for the trophy, the FedEx St. Jude Championship, August 14th through 18th. Witness the drama as 70 players arrive in Memphis and only 50 move on. Tickets are on sale now at FedExChampionship.com.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 95 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stacks Norsworthy and Brian Gates.
Welcome back in, and we've got a final at the Olympics, 95-91. Team USA gets the win, and they'll advance
Just win,
to
baby.
the gold medal round. Who cares what the
USA,
score is?
great win.
You get the win, and you advance, and that's what the only thing that matters. I know a lot of people bet on this game. I was one of them. And Brett, we were talking about during the break.
You'll
loss
pay
I'll
for
pay
that
for.
one.
Who cares? I mean, that
spent
$10.
a lot more, a lot less.
Yes, I will gladly lose that $10.
Steph Curry had a
unbelievable
in his
game.
career. Could you call today a signature moment?
I definitely think you can.
Smith.
We definitely will. 36 points for him. Shot 63% from the field. 9 for 14 from three. So 64% from three, and
all we had in the first half.
And Brett, you mentioned it. It was not just, and we've talked about it before, the 3-point line a little shorter in FIBA. It was not just regular. I mean, he was hitting deep threes, even deep for NBA games, and knocking them down early in this one. So he was massive. LeBron James, 16 points. Joel Embiid, 19 points off. No, he did start FIBA in the Olympics. Their stats.
FIBA site.
Yeah, it's a
good game
awkward.
for much as I've criticized him. Good game for Embiid.
Sure, and what you needed from him.
Win without him now. A couple 3-pointers by him. The shot selection wasn't the best, but he did a lot of other things very well.
He definitely did, and so getting 19 points from him, getting that big man in there.
What about former Grizzly Marko Guduric?
Yes, and there's a lot of former Grizzlies at this Olympics.
Our Marco.
Yes, and I was trying to remember when Marko Guduric played for the Grizzlies. I believe it was
that first disaster.
I think so.
25+ players.
Yes,
wasn't
when they needed everybody. The first time.
17?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
16 or 17.
Yeah, 16 or 17. I was in high school. I remember that. So it was in that range.
Really, last year, as far as breathtaking as it was, the injury and the 30-plus roster.
Yeah.
We'd kind of been through that once.
Definitely. And that was, kind of same thing. You had those really good players, and you thought maybe one more run, and then all the injuries came, and that was really when they decided, all right, let's blow this thing up and start rebuilding. And obviously you're not going to get that same thing here. You know you've got those young stars. But, yes, former Grizzlies everywhere. Gudric here for Serbia. Who else? Nick Kalathis was playing for Greece, I think. The guy that was playing for
the player coming
Brazil.
in from Japan this year.
Yes,
coming in.
That's correct. And then, why can't I think of Caboclo? Yes, Bruno Caboclo.
Yeah, our Bruno
was playing for Brazil. So, yeah, a lot of former Grizzlies in the Olympics.
Guderic played 1920 season.
Okay, so a little bit later.
1920.
That was definitely later.
So that was first year of Taylor Jenkins.
Mm-hmm. How about that? Marco. Love that. Don't remember I remember him, but
shut down COVID and then continuing the bubble.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think.
Yeah,
that'd be right. So, yeah, I mean, I don't remember any signature moments from Marco with the Grizzlies. Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Did you get a jersey?
No, I did not. Bogdan Bogdanovic, 20 points today for Serbia. Nikola Jokic, 17 points for Serbia. And tell me everything you got on Aleska Ramovic. There we go.
Not a thing. You could make up a
Thank
name.
you, Connor. I see that reaction. Thank you.
I have nothing.
Avramovic.
But a great win and I think that
15 points for him.
That's the gold medal.
Yeah, no, I think you win today and you've got that gold. Now, France,
I want to run it up on France.
I would love
won't
to.
Just they win, but I would like to pound them for a signal for in 4 years we're going to do it to you again in L.A.
I would love that. Brett, it's going to be a hostile environment on Saturday against the French.
Come on, MB. Now you know how all the visiting players coming into Philly feel.
For sure.
You went into the whole country, though.
Yes.
Sometimes Philly can feel like a country.
No, definitely. But you're gonna need Joel Embiid at times in that championship game with the bigs that France has with
50%
Wemby.
from 3-point won it.
Oh, yeah,
that's
absolutely.
That's the box score.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah, especially late. I mean, they were knocking down threes left and right. I saw Drew Holiday knock down a three. We already talked about Steph Curry knocking down threes. So it was a little bit of everybody today for Team USA that led to that win. A big-time win for them. Had the entire country on edge on if they would be able to get through that. CJ was saying his father was calling him about what's going on. Melinda's texting me that everybody at International Paper's watching the game and stressing about it. So the entire country.
We never stressed. We were pretty calm and collected.
Y'all weren't stressed. I was
Connor, we weren't.
I'll be honest.
Not at all.
Big wins in the end. I don't know how Kentucky's let that happen to them so many times.
That's a good question.
Well, I do. Common denominator. Yeah. He gets so tight.
You're definitely right about that. Yeah, we know what you're talking about.
Yep.
But yes, I was a little nervous. I'll be honest about it. But definitely a good win for Team USA. Saturday afternoon, 2:30 will be the gold medal match against France. But we need to go ahead and wrap up this hour and get to a break. And when we come back, we're talking more NBA. We're talking more Olympic men's basketball with Keith Smith from Spot Track and the Front Office Show.
Floors and More invite you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Little Rock, Cleveland, Mississippi, and now open in Horn Lake at 2356 West Goodman Road. Specializing in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds, Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Summertime's finally here, and that means it's time to party. Lucky for you, Family Leisure is having a summertime to party sale. Now, what's all included in this party sale? Practically everything. 24-foot above ground pools for as little as $19.99. All ladders, filter systems, and even robotic cleaners are 20% off. Come in and look at all of the in-stock patio furniture Family Leisure has. Plus, it's up to 50% off. Play gyms for the kids, that's $1,000 off. Patio umbrellas, take 20% off. You can get a 4-person hot tub for just under $3,000. We know you're really going to just use it for yourself. Family Leisure has discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while the supplies last, so you better get in quick. Plus, Family Leisure has special financing available. Just ask an associate for all the details. Summertime means party time, and Family Leisure is ready for any party. Family Leisure with Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Wash your house, wash your office building? Impossible! Not if you call Wilson's Pro Wash. Your house, fence, driveway, warehouse, store, hotel, even cars and trucks can all be squeaky clean and beautiful after pressure washing by Wilson's Pro Wash. Wilson's specializes in cleaning all hard surfaces, concrete, stone, brick, and mortar, even wood and vinyl siding. Then Wilson's can seal their surfaces so they stay looking brand new. Call Wilson's Pro Wash, 1-524-6799, or online at wilsonsprowash.com.
Things you can do for your employees or family's health. Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363. Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's a little bit busy at times going outbound on Sam Cooper over here up by Perkins. We had a nasty car fire over there earlier. Traffic's on the increase even more through the Midtown area as we check it out live over here on 40 in both directions here at Chelsea. I-40 westbound looks like it's trying to build there at Danny Thomas as you continue towards the Hernando de Soto Bridge back over into West Memphis. Hey, Weiber's Jewelry right here in the Memphis area. They specialize in bridal ring purchases, and they have since 1984. Go by and see David and his family at Weimer's Jewelry out there on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Podcasting Stations. Time to talk NBA with Keith Smith from Spot Rack and the Front Office Show, and on Twitter X at Keith Smith NBA. Here's Keith Smith talking basketball with Bryant and Brett.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and joining us now on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line, Keith Smith from Spot Track and the Front Office Show joins us to talk some basketball. And usually we talk only NBA, but today we got to start off with what's going on in the Olympics. I think the entire country just got done watching and maybe stressing a little bit over the United States and Serbia semifinal matchup. USA gets a 95-91 win. Brett was not nervous at all. He never had doubt that the United States was going to win that game. What about you, Keith? What was it like at your household watching that one?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that they're going to win all the time. That doesn't keep me from screaming and yelling at the television. So there was there might have been some not safe for radio language going on here in the Smith house during that one.
We got the dump button handy.
Yeah,
we're good, Keith. No, I just that roster, that totality of that team. You play it down. You play 40 minutes, and in the NBA you play 48. A lot can happen, and the best team usually does win.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with this team. We've been saying it, I think, for months, even leading up to this, was if they are going to get beat, they're going to have to probably beat themselves. And they're going to have a bunch of turnovers, not shoot well, not play defense. Well, This one, they didn't play a lot of defense.
Sure did.
The defensive approach was really, really poor. I thought their off-ball defense was atrocious from what I was able to see throughout the course of the game. And then their rebounding was not good late in the game. It's the old adage of defense doesn't stop till you have the ball, right? So you got to finish possessions with rebounds. But, yeah, I mean, in the end, they got it done and they advanced, and that's what it's all about, right? We're just, there's no style points. You don't get it. The gold medals aren't any bigger if you win every game by 20 plus. It only matters that you win them.
And Keith, those days are over. And if this didn't end that, and I think they wallop France pretty good, or they win pretty handily. They may not beat them 25, but I think they handle them pretty easily for the gold. And gold medal ceremony, it was all that mattered to me. Now 2028 is going to be a different story. We'll get to that then, and it'll be plenty of fun getting to that then. And you may even see a country right now that we don't think will emerge by then do that then. But the United States will be plenty good then. This was a zero-sum game for me the whole time. Just win the gold medal, and there's no rancor. If there's not a gold medal, there's plenty of rancor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if they don't win the gold medal, it's a failure, right? Mm-hmm. This group, since the U.S. lost in the World Cup, and all these players immediately when that World Cup final finished, or at least when the United States got knocked out, you had LeBron tweeting at all the veteran guys, and those guys all tweeting back, yeah, it's time for us to get in there and do this. And then you had Steph's first Olympics, and you had Joel Embiid joining the team. Anything less than a gold medal was going to be a failure. And it's same thing goes for Saturday. If they lose to France, who even wants that silver medal? It's there's a lot of guys I know that talk about how you give me a silver medal, I'll take it home because they make me, but I don't even want it. And that's I get it. People say you're a cocky, ugly American with all that stuff, and probably am. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine if that's the way I get labeled. I root for my country in sports, but the reality is they're that much more talented than any one of these teams. Even if they've closed the gap, they haven't closed it quite that much.
My criticism would have been and will be, if it's not a gold, it will be heavy on Steve Kerr.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if they had lost today, to me, this falls fully at Steve Kerr. Some of the coaching decisions he's made throughout the run-up have made no sense to me. The rotations he's used, again, didn't play Jason Tatum today. He continues to say, well, we have to keep size on the floor against Jokic. Jokic sits, and he immediately goes to Anthony Davis and Bam Adebayo, who you can't play two bigs when they go that small because you're chasing that team around. I know people are like, well, you can because you won, but that's not it. That doesn't mean there weren't bad decisions made. And for a lot of the game, Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards didn't look very good. The off-ball defense, the lack of attention to guys, the thought of we're just going to out-jump them and grab the rebounds. All that stuff to me starts to fall on the coaching, and they've got to get that stuff figured out because France is coming for this, right? We've seen throughout this tournament they get lifted by their home crowd, and they've had some pretty good home cooking throughout the tournament with officiating. So USA is going to have to show up and play Saturday if they want to win, and that includes Steve Kerr.
And, Keith, I will preface it with this may be really small. It may be really unbecoming of me, but I'm not changing. If the United States wins by 40 on Saturday, I'm giving Steve Kerr very little credit.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I think any 100 junior high coaches could have gone and won with this team.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's I don't want to give them none, right? I think it's still the managing of the egos, getting all these guys to sacrifice and to stay committed. That stuff is all still important. And don't get me wrong. I think Steve Kerr has proven with the time with the Warriors and with Team USA, he's pretty good at that stuff. But yeah, like you said, there's a lot of people who could have coached this team with this amount of talent, this particular group, to a gold medal. So yeah, I'm not about to go crazy on it was all him. He coached them to this, especially when he would turn around and say, "No, it wasn't me. I didn't do anything." And he's going to give credit to the players and to his assistant coaches and that's perfectly fine too.
Yeah. So now Team USA will see France in the gold medal game, and I've said it for a while. I've heard a lot of other people say that it feels like this France team is maybe an Olympics away. It feels like they're going to be a lot tougher to deal with, have a lot, a way better team in 2028, especially with all of the guys you've seen lately the last couple of years come out of France and first round draft picks. What do you expect in this game on Saturday between USA and France?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the future part of it goes, a lot of that comes down to, where is Victor Wembanyama going to be at? If he is like the, destroyer of worlds, like it looks like he's turning into, it's probably going to be pretty tough to beat them, unless you can really lock in other guys. They're going to be a tough team. Everybody keeps kind of going to, well, these other guys that are on the team, and, you've got all these French guys that were drafted high. I want them all to succeed. Honestly, other than, when I have a rooting interest, I want the best for everybody, because if everybody gets good, basketball is that much better for all of us. But in this case, with France, a lot of those young guys, they need to grow up very, very quickly. And I don't know that they're going to be fully ready in 4 years, because let's face it, in 4 years, we're probably not going to have Rudy Gobert. We're not going to have Nick Batum, not going to have Evan Fournier. Those three guys are still pretty big parts of this French team. So I think it's a little premature, but if Wembanyama's that good and a couple of these guys develop and come along, they're going to be pretty good. Their big thing is you're going to have to get better guard play, but you've got Nolan Traore is coming. He's going to be probably a top 5 or 6 pick in this upcoming NBA draft, and that means he'll probably be a big part of the France team in 4 years in Los Angeles.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for Saturday, but feel pretty good about the U.S. after able to pull that one out today against Serbia. Talking to Keith Smith from Spot Track and the Front Office Show. Big news yesterday from the NBA. Lauri Markkanen signed an extension with the Utah Jazz. It's been one of the guys that's been talked about for the last couple of weeks. $238 million contract renegotiation and extension over 5 years. Were you surprised that we got to this point after so much speculation of him being traded earlier this offseason?
No, not at all. I think this was something we saw coming. With the Jazz having that much cap space and then kind of sitting on it. Now, Danny Ainge had talked about it at the end of the regular season, or I'm sorry, it might have been postseason, but whatever it was that he did his kind of his final media session. He said some version of, hey, we're going to try to go big game hunting. And by all accounts, they got in on some of the guys. They tried to get in on Mikal Bridges. They tried to get in on a couple other guys, but he said we have options. And one of the ones he referenced was we can just renegotiate and extend Lauri Markkanen, and that's what they ended up doing. So I'm not really surprised. I think it's one of those things where, okay, this was kind of what I expected to see happen here, and that is ultimately what happened. And I think, for the Jazz, I like it. I think it's a good move. He's a good player. It takes him off the trade market this year, but nothing says next July you can't trade him if things aren't going the way you want it to go, and open up all those possibilities. And we'll see. I feel like they're still sitting on about 10, 11 million in cap space. They might have another move or two in them left.
Keith, I love these contracts. I'm glad that these players are getting them. The money's there. The rights fees are there. The profits are there. The ticket sales are there. Everything's there for them to get their piece of basketball-related income. They should get it. They are the show. But I think back to one time. I don't remember what free agency year it was. You will. Tony Snell got like a $44 million total deal. And on these airwaves, I said, we live in a world that Tony Snell just got $44 million. That's peanuts now.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even the mid-level exception anymore, right?
Incredible.
Like the mid-level exception this year is up over $12 million. So, yeah, what you've kind of seen happen, and people get kind of starry-eyed and blown away by the numbers, right? Because as I'm fond of saying over on Front Office Show, our show, is I say all the time, yeah, it looks like Monopoly money. It doesn't even feel real. But when you actually get into it, what you end up seeing as you look at this stuff, it's all just percentage of the cap. Like that's where the salary cap has gone to, that these guys who are making 25, 30, 35% of the cap, this is what these numbers bear out, and it's like all the people are like, Jason Tatum's get this new big contract, and in his final year he'll make $70 million plus. And it's like, yep, until next year when someone else comes along and knocks it off. That's just how it goes now. It's going to be that way. Cap's going to continue to go up. And it's, I'm with you. And, for all the people who are screaming on the other end saying, hey, a lot of guys are not getting paid. There's still some quality free agents sitting out there waiting for a deal and those kind of things. Where we're sitting in this is the players still get 51% of the money, whether they get it up front through salaries or it comes to them on the back end because the NBA made more money than they paid out in salaries. They're still going to get their pie one way or another, and that's what's, I think, important that people have to understand.
Did you read the L.A. Times story on Ballmer's new arena for the Clippers? And it's just going to be so futuristic, so nice, unlike anything. I mean, and we're in a run of great ballparks and stadia, but it's going to be something like we've never laid eyes on. It's going to be a marvel compared to Kroenke's football stadium.
Yeah, it absolutely is. As someone who loves the game of basketball, for right now, for me, the absolute best arena in the NBA for basketball is the, I don't know what it's called now, but it's the Fieldhouse in Indiana. Yeah. And you could tell, surprising, right, that it's in Indiana.
Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
There you go. Yeah, where they love the game, right? And they built an arena that it's for basketball. They host other stuff there, but guess what? The other stuff, it gets fit in how it gets fit in. But they built it to have the Pacers and then high-level college basketball played there, and it is beautiful. It's gorgeous. The way it feels like an oversized high school gym, is the way I describe it. And to me, that's basketball at its purest form. Is that type of setup. I'm really curious to see with the Clippers now. They're not building a basketball arena like that, but what they're building is an arena that's designed to give that team a real advantage. I can't wait to see what this wall is going to look like, where all the seats rise on that really sharp incline, and they're not going to allow in any non-Clippers fans. I can't wait to see the first, probably in the
legal?
first week or two. That's what they're saying. They're saying if you're not in Clippers gear, you can't sit in there. They'll find a seat for you somewhere else.
I thought we passed public access laws,
right?
Like
yeah.
that.
So I can't wait to see what they do, and how they're going to make that work. Like I am beyond excited to see what that looks like, and I'm sure it's going to be within the first week or two. We're going to have somebody pop in there with the opposing team's jersey, and it's going to be a big hullabaloo when they get moved along. But yeah, it's going to be.
Who's going to be the enforcer?
Really
Clipper Darrell?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But if you go to their website right now and read about it, or just Google, the Wall Intuit Dome, it's going to tell you all the policies that they're enforcing. Wow. For that section, they're going to do everything they can. It sounds like a lot of what they're doing is kind of trying to make it like student sections at various college games, football and basketball, and if that's what they can do and can recreate that kind of environment in the NBA, I'm all for it. I think that'd be great.
That story had Ballmer's net worth. Y'all ready? Did you see it, Keith?
Definitely not.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it, but I know he makes more money in his couch cushions each day than I could ever hope to make.
$100 billion.
Whew.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's when we went over the summer. You had Lawrence Frank came out very, no pun intended, but very frankly said it wasn't about paying the money to Paul George. He said if there were no salary cap, Steve Ballmer would sign everybody. He's like, and that's true. Steve Ballmer could buy the league. I'm not going to say the entire league, but he could buy pretty close, right? He could buy another 3 or 4 teams, and if they would allow him to. But I thought what was really interesting was then Lawrence Frank got very candid about part of this is the roster restrictions that come with if you're that expensive and the things we can and can't do. And he ran through everything that way. But, yeah, I thought that part was very interesting because you rarely get somebody who will come right out and say, like, hey, it's not about the money. Our owner can afford to pay anybody they want.
That's wild. It's incredible. Some other news that I saw yesterday, Charles Barkley, after what was last week or 2 weeks ago when he said that he was going to retire or I guess it was probably a couple weeks ago at this point, but he was going to retire if the NBA left TNT. He came out yesterday, said he's staying with his contract to TNT, that 10-year deal he signed a couple years ago, and that he'll stay at TNT. Now I'm seeing some rumors that maybe TNT could try to keep this entire group together and just make it a generic sports show where they talk about everything, not just basketball? We know Charles Barkley has done college basketball during the tournament. He's been on broadcast for the golf events they have. What did you make of that, and what is the future of this Inside the NBA crew with the NBA leaving TNT?
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, Ernie Johnson said a while ago he was staying no matter what. Now, he does a lot of stuff with their baseball coverage over there. I don't know if he's involved in the hockey stuff or not. I just, when that's on, I'm busy with basketball, so I'm not sure.
I don't think he is.
I know he said, hey, this has been my home my entire career. Like, this is where I want to be. And Charles Barkley came out, and he openly said, yeah, hey, I don't want to see these people, or, there's a lot of good people here that may lose jobs and all this. So I'm guessing if TNT, Turner, Warner Brothers, however you want to break it down, writes him a big enough check, he's going to say, I'll talk about whatever you want. You want me to talk about, knitting and handball and underwater basket weaving? Let's go. Like, I'm in. So I think that'll be fine. I do think we may see maybe Kenny Smith, Shaq probably move along. They don't really do anything but basketball, those two. So you may see another group come along. One of the things that's been out there that a lot of people are asking about is, are you rooting for, they're not rooting for, but are you going for Noah Eagle, who's been so good on these Team USA games, to be the lead NBC announcer? And I believe, as it stands right now, he's working some games for the Nets in relief of his dad at times. So I don't know where his exact positioning is. I think he worked Clippers games at one point. So that could be the way. And what people have already started talking about on the heels of the Olympics is, yeah, let's go with, let's try to get it down to, we're trying to see, can we get him and Dwayne Wade to come in and maybe be part of the lead broadcast team for NBC as they get everything cranked up, and not next season, but this season after.
Coming to your TV this December. Remember, some of those college football playoff games are going to be farmed out to TNT.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley will be on their version of Game Day.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's going to kind of be like, I think what the next phase is, and he's probably already in there, he's going to become like America's uncle, right? Like, he's just going to show up on all kinds of stuff. You're going to get a completely unfiltered opinion out of him, and he's just going to say whatever it is he feels like he needs to say, and off we go.
And he delivers. He's entertaining. Keith Smith with us on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line, talking all things NBA and beyond. Keith, I said this earlier, and I promised I was going to ask you. He didn't need it. He needs nothing else. He could stop right now and never touch a basketball again, and they're going to have a gold highway to Springfield for Steph Curry going into the Basketball Hall of Fame. But did today help his legacy? Was that a bullet point? Was that a signature moment?
Who was that?
For Steph Curry today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is huge. He hasn't been very great, right, in the Olympics to this point. And I think, for him, it is, we're in a spot where he stepped up biggest when the team needed him, right? He was the only one that really played well throughout the first, I'll even say almost 3 quarters, And what was interesting to me was, which has me a little bit worried for 4 years from now, the guys who really got it done down the stretch, Curry, LeBron, and KD. Like, those were the 3 guys. You had LeBron grab that rebound, go coast to coast, and go down and get that big bucket. You had Curry get the big steal in the layup, and then you had Durant when they cut it to 2 after the 3-point play. He's the one they threw to and got the big hoop there to kind of really give them the breathing room they needed. It was absolutely unbelievable to me that those 3 guys still get it done. But, I mean, it is, it's been so fun watching the 3 of them, do this at, these huge stakes games. Throughout, like, it really is, like, kind of crazy that this is where we're at with these guys this deep into their careers.
You mentioned Noah Eagle and Dwayne Wade, who've done a ton of the broadcasts at the Olympics. Noah Eagle has been fantastic, and you mentioned that. What have you thought of Dwayne Wade as commentator?
Yeah, I thought he's done a pretty good job. I think what I want to see what happens is when it's I don't know what night NBC is going to have games, and let's say he's working for NBC, which we don't even know that to be certain yet. But let's say he is, and it's a Tuesday night, and the game turns into a stinker. What does it look like then, right? When it's not just, hey, I'm out here having fun. It's the Olympics. I'm into this. We got the best players in the world all playing here. What's that going to look like? That's the thing. That's when you find out, right, who's actually good at this and who's breaking things down. But I think he gives a really good perspective. One of the things I really like about him is here's a former player who is not just coming out there saying, well, all these guys are soft. And back in my day, none of these guys would have hung around. Now, maybe that happens when we're in the grind of, a 6-month-long NBA season. I don't know. But so far, I'm really excited because he seems like he's really in a spot where he just loves the game and loves the players.
Yeah.
And that's, most important to me that shines through.
Keith, tomorrow at 5 o'clock Central Time, I know you'll be listening. We're gonna have a debate. And nobody's taking either. Well, I'm taking the 96 side. I'm going to die on this hill. 1996 Dream Team was better than 1992.
Yeah, you're going to die up on that hill without me. 92, it's funny because I love the standard answer, whenever they ask, like Larry Bird or Magic Johnson. I think they've even asked Michael Jordan, hey, would you guys beat this team? I know Larry Bird was asked recently. He goes, well, we're all in our 60s now, so it might be a little hard for us to get going. It might take us a little while. There's for my money, no team will ever match the talent that was on that 92 team, and that's even with the throwaway spot that was given to Christian Laettner at that time. But I also admit I'm completely biased in that opinion, because that was my team. I loved that team so much because it was, I'll never forget, people forget, they had to qualify in a tournament of the Americas, which was played in Portland. They had to qualify to actually get into the Olympics. They weren't an automatic qualifier. And the first time they took the floor, and there was a play where Michael Jordan grabbed a rebound, outletted it to Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson pitched it up the floor to Bird, and Bird threw a behind-the-back pass to Jordan for a dunk. 14-year-old me, I absolutely lost my mind.
Yeah.
That was basketball nirvana for me, and nothing will ever be better than the 92.
And some crazy guy in Memphis can die on that hill. That's what you said at 14. The 96 team, we'll never know, but both Grant Hill and Memphis's very own Penny Hardaway, what could have been but for injury.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's it's unfortunate, and it's a still, we're 30 years into this now, and it's still a sore subject here in Orlando. That, what could have been with both of those guys? What could have been if Shaq and Penny didn't break up? And then, when they did that, that 30 for 30 about the Magic, and Shaq says at the end of that, he goes, I probably should have just stayed in Orlando. That was like a nice twist to the heart of Magic fans, because they were like, we told you then you should have done it. And then you add in Grant Hill with the injuries, which happened in Detroit, but the Magic never got to see him at the full peak of his powers. I mean, just two guys who are absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, it's it is unfortunate, but I'm going to roll with the 92 team, until the end. I wish there's a way, hopefully somebody will invent time machines and we can actually see them play each other. That'd be a lot of fun.
One of these days. And Pat Williams just recently passed away.
Yeah.
That was integral in Orlando, a team, and what he built.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The father of professional sports here in Orlando. He was the first one to really push, like, hey, this city is ready for professional sports. And right up until he passed, he was fighting to get a Major League Baseball team here in Orlando. He really wanted a team here. I think he kind of was hoping it'd be the Rays if they couldn't get a stadium done, that they'd move them over, because they're never going to get another team that close to Tampa. But yeah, he an unfortunate loss, but very kind man too. When I didn't know anybody, it was just starting out. Like, he sat down with me in the media room one night when we were eating the meal and asked me a million questions about, how did I get to doing this and all that stuff. Just a great guy.
He was such a happy warrior, Keith, before we ever, I wasn't in sports, never dreaming that someday we'd get an NBA team. He was the featured speaker here at the National Cotton Council meeting.
Wow.
And I went with my dad. We went to it, and he was such a happy warrior, very positive, and was always fighting the good, fun, fair fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he just wanted the best for everywhere, and he did a lot for youth sports here in the Orlando area too that a lot of people don't know about. I mean, once he moved here and he was with the Magic for a long time, it made Orlando his home, and he built those early Magic teams because he wasn't just the guy who was rah get us a team. He built those teams, and people forget he was a big part of building the 76ers last championship team in 1983 as well. So a life, long lived, and was a professional baseball guy before he did any of that. So just unbelievable.
He told that whole story and had everybody in there just spellbound. He really great public speaker.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, Keith, as always, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, Keith.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Keith. Keith Smith joining us from Spa Track and the Front Office Show every week at this time to talk the NBA. And today, after that win by the United States, we had to talk a lot of Olympics as Team USA advances to Saturday's gold medal round against the hometown
got wrestling
France.
on now.
Yeah, wrestling. And you mentioned it before we came back.
Check those tights. I think somebody's got a foreign object.
The guy that was walking out, he meant business and won like 13-0. I don't know how scoring.
You know he had brass knucks down there.
Oh, had to. He's hiding something. They always are when it comes to wrestling.
Jerry Calhoun never saw it coming, though.
No.
Checked him before the match started, and then during the match, an actual chainsaw
That's
come
right.
out.
Maybe the most oblivious person.
How'd that happen?
Yeah, never know. A mystery as old as time. But let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we've got 2 preseason games tonight in the NFL. So we'll talk about those 2 games and some news going around the league next on Sports Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Get the highest quality diamond ring at a rock-bottom price right now at Genesis Diamonds. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine, and don't be surprised this week to see other jewelry store owners shopping at Genesis Diamonds. They'll be taking advantage of Genesis' most aggressive offer ever. All GIA diamond engagement rings marked down an extra 20% below Genesis' everyday price. The GIA is the world standard in diamond grading, certifying accuracy, and documenting quality, so you can buy with confidence. Every Genesis engagement ring is included in this event, from a half carat up to 20-carat stones, all shapes, rounds, ovals, radiants, cushion cuts, pear-shapes, apple cuts, and princess cuts. There's never been a better time to get an extreme value price on a GIA certified diamond, perfectly set in a gorgeous engagement ring. Hurry in for the best selection. Save an extra 20% off those rare, precious diamond rings now for a limited time. One per customer, please. Exclusively at Genesis Diamonds on Palmer and Perkins Extended. See store for details.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TURN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos. And enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns, to turnovers, and overturned plays.
After review, pass is incomplete.
Nice. Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV, and a new phone. Excludes digital only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's grape.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games. 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers. And an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. And in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. MPD on the scene of a couple of non-injury accidents. Trying to get busy over here just in the last 15 minutes or so on 240 eastbound from Mill Branch out to 385. Not bad, actually, on Sam Cooper going outbound. We had a crazy car fire earlier on Sam Cooper at Perkins. Again, it's not a problem, but you can see where it's scorched the grass pretty good over there in that area. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Going back into sports time, big day because we've got NFL preseason back tonight. 2 games, Panthers at Patriots. That one 6 o'clock on NFL Network. Lions Giants also 6 o'clock, but on NFL Plus. That's where you can stream it to watch it. No television for that second one, but should be a fun night to get some football back. I know a lot of people really excited last week for the Hall of Fame game where we got about 2.5 quarters in before the rain came, but now real preseason action, and we've got both teams holding guys out. I haven't dug too deep into exactly who's playing, but according to what I've seen today, Panthers won't play Bryce Young
Not
tonight.
a play.
No playing for him. Also, Andy Dalton
You only have
is
3
out.
now.
That's very true, which I was a little surprised.
Wait,
when I
Andy
saw.
Dalton's in the league?
He's still in the league. Veteran backup, Andy Dalton. He will be the backup for the Panthers.
Almost a Memphis Tiger in today.
Real? I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Had no idea. That's news to me.
Red Rocket way back when.
I love that. That would have been great. But he's out with an injury, so he will not play tonight either. So it looks like Jack Plummer will likely be the starter tonight for the Carolina Panthers.
Cue the J.J. Reddick quote here.
That's right.
Just a bunch of plumbers. Well, it is a plumber.
Tonight it will literally be a plumber out there for the Panthers.
With just 3, and the last one is shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So next week's it.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Maybe a quarter in that last one. Oh, you don't want to risk that.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe
because you don't have time to scramble.
No, not at all.
Really don't have any now either.
That's true. Then the second game.
The second game, no NFL Network, but they will cut into that, I bet.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure you'll get updates from it for sure.
And one thing I really used to love about the preseason games, and now a lot of these, they're through the NFL Network, but it's still kind of the local guys.
Yes.
You would see announced tandems that would never do a network game. A lot of very local announced teams. It was one of the big first showbiz breaks for Charles Davis.
Oh, really?
Doing preseason games like this.
Wow. Well, yeah, I love it because like you said, you're always getting a local team, and now I guess there's pros and cons to it. But for a lot of these teams that maybe you're just like, okay, I'm gonna watch Giants and Lions tonight, or not Giants and Lions, Giants and Lions. I'm gonna watch that tonight, but I don't have any rooting interest. If we get Giants local TV tonight, they're going to be doing a lot of, hey, let's get to know this guy and here's some things about this person. And so you're
a feature on the deep snapper.
Exactly. You're learning about some of these players that you probably don't know much about. So it's fun and kind of a new flavor in there. But speaking of that game.
And that was always good money for a lot of people to do those.
Oh, absolutely.
And way back when we had 4 and 5 and 6 preseason games.
Yeah. A lot of preseason games.
Another thing we used to have with preseason games, and Memphis was often the beneficiary of it. They were played out of the way off the beaten path.
Oh yeah.
Little Rock had games. Tulsa would have games. Shreveport would always have games. Knoxville hosted one year. In the Memphis NFL pursuit team, wasn't called that, but that's what it was. They flew a bunch of people from here to Knoxville for the game. Jackson, Mississippi would have a game, and in the day for Joe Namath, Birmingham would always have a game.
Really? Wow.
Birmingham may even gotten a regular season game or two during Joe Namath's career because instant sellout.
Sure.
Now, he was instant sellout, but the stadium in Birmingham was so much bigger than what they had with Shea. I guess they moved into Shea after his rookie year, maybe second year. But, yeah, you would see – you can go through NFL media guides, and hard to believe a game – the Dallas Cowboys' very first game in its existence was the one and only football game ever played – NFL game played in the state of South Dakota. They played.
Really?
I want to say they may have played the Vikings there.
Holy cow!
And you would get, and then those owners like we ran into, like the owner of the Colts, the Irsay family, and Bud Adams with the Oilers. They would use us as an audition. You want a team? Show us.
Show us. So. That's interesting.
But now
certainly not that anymore.
Now it's big money, and they don't have to share that with anybody.
No.
And they keep everything.
Oh, absolutely. And so they're not going anywhere. They're playing at their home stadiums. But I wanted to bring this up because we were talking about Bryce Young not playing for the Panthers tonight. The Giants, this was reported earlier today by Jordan Renan from ESPN, quote, most of the Giants starters, including Daniel Jones and rookie wide receiver Malik Neighbors, are not expected to play tonight in their preseason opener.
That's all the people is wanting to fight.
Exactly, yes. Maybe a more mellow game from both sides. So. And it went on to say they had 2 intense joint practices with the Lions this week. Intense is a word. Next week, they don't have any joint practices before Saturday's preseason game in Houston. That seems the most likely spot to get the first-team offense and defense some preseason playing time. But still surprised, Malik Neighbors, a rookie wide receiver. I think we know what you got with him, but not playing him in preseason.
What do you think y'all's pie chart of sports TV viewing will be tonight, Connor? How much NFL game, Olympics recap, baseball? What are you watching?
I think it'll be a lot of football. I'm really excited about preseason.
I am too.
Yeah, it might.
I'm there.
It might be.
The Cardinals drove me to it.
Yeah, it might be all NFL for me tonight.
I mean, I'll check on the baseball.
Sure. But kind of a limited slate tonight in baseball with being a Thursday.
I know what happened in the Olympics.
Exactly. I don't watch any of the
I haven't watched much of the nighttime recap stuff.
I love it. I mean, when I have a chance, I will.
I've enjoyed it. The presentation's been great.
It's been great. But I mean, the timing in France is not that bad to where I'm seeing a lot of it when I wake up in the morning from until it's done at about now. I'm seeing a lot of it, and then with Gold Zone, which has been awesome. If you have Peacock and you're not watching Gold Zone, you're missing out. They do a lot of recaps, and they're going into everything, so you're not missing much. So yeah, it will probably be a lot of both these NFL games tonight. And I told Connor I've got to buy NFL Plus before we leave today so that we can watch.
What's that run you?
About $15.
For one night?
No, for a month.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it could be better, but
you can get it for $7 a month.
Yeah, but I want to be able to watch games.
Do you have a place where you have all your costs for streaming?
I have in the past. I don't have it anymore. No.
Do they have a app for that? You can set it up. And
they have
what you're spending. Okay.
There's this. I forget what they call it now because it's been rebranded like 3 times. But it's really good to tell you how much you're spending.
You know what these questions mean, don't you?
What's that?
I'm going to be dragged to it.
Oh yeah,
I have
sure.
to be.
100%. You're definitely going to be dragged to it. But Connor is
right. What's the gizmo on the back of the TV I need?
Either Roku or Fire Stick or Apple. The Apple.
No,
has
you
their own
said
Apple TV.
Any TV made since 2019.
HDMI. Yes.
HDMI.
Yes. I thought you meant what to plug into the HDMI to get all of this stuff. Yeah, you definitely have. No need
You know
to
what
check.
I'm going to do?
You
I'm
have
going to call my
X amount.
buddy Mike Reeves at Western Auto in Forest City and tell him to come over and help me out.
That's right.
Set all this up.
Yes.
I'll pay you for it.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. But no, so Connor's right. You can get NFL Plus for $7 a month, but there are some things that you can't get with that lower price.
Have you been waking up to Good Morning Football?
Oh, of course.
It's been great.
It's been so good. And they were at Jets to start out, and then they were at Giants last couple of days. They were back in studio today.
In Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles, yes.
What are those wake-up calls?
6 a.m. our time, so...
Hair, makeup.
I didn't even think
drive
about
to the
that.
building.
Jeez. Wow.
Jamie Erdahl's getting up early.
Very early. I mean, yeah, that's...
Because that used to be based out of New York, didn't it?
Oh, it absolutely was. This is their first year in L.A.
And the money hit. Of course, they're not cheap in New York either.
No, but oh boy, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's early mornings.
That's early for me.
Oh, that's it's way early for me. Yeah. Some other news that I saw from the NFL today: the Ravens have signed Anthony Miller, former Memphis Tiger, who's kind of bounced around the league.
What's he got left? Make a team.
Make a team, I think.
Also, news with Mollett.
Yeah,
just terrible.
It just really, really bad on Mollett. But in other injury news that I saw today, and now I lost it. Rondale Moore got injured today.
Yeah.
Yep, he is going to be out for the season. So that's another big injury.
He can't catch a break. He couldn't at Purdue.
No, he couldn't. Chosen Anderson got picked up. Great rebrand on his name, Chosen. So a lot of news in the NFL today, but it'll be nice tonight to watch some actual preseason.
And I know a great place to watch it tonight. Go to the new Collierville Commissary at Houston, Levy, and Poplar. Go outside on that patio and enjoy this cool air. That ever so slight north breeze that feels so much better than it did. I was out there at lunch. I wasn't out on the patio at lunchtime, but I could have enjoyed it. And you always enjoy the original in Germantown. And it was a feast today at lunchtime. It's perfect for a big group, for game watching parties or reunions, any get-together. Started at either commissary, the new Collierville Commissary at Houston, Levy, and Poplar, or the original in Germantown. That Memphis-style barbecue done the slow-cooked Memphis way. If you're craving an easier way to order right now, you can easily text commissary to 33733. They'll have it waiting for you to enjoy your TV viewing tonight or the weekend ahead or any event. Start it with the barbecue. Start that barbecue feast with a great appetizer like the cheese plate or the tamales or the smoked chicken wings or the barbecue nachos. Invented and created in the 80s by Walker Taylor and his extraordinary team, and then dig into the ribs. Shoulder, chopped or pulled, all the sides, slaw, deviled eggs, beans, bread. You can order it by the pound or a 6-pack or a 8-pack or a 12-pack. The salads are terrific and save room for dessert. It's a challenge, but you'll be glad you did. The banana pudding and the best lemon icebox pie I've ever had anywhere. 901-754-5540. And next week, that third location for the commissary at the pit at TPC Southwind out behind number 1 green. You can enjoy all week at the golf tournament, the commissary. 901-754-5540. Online at commissarybbq.com in Collierville and Germantown.
Well, let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Summertime's finally here, and that means it's time to party. Lucky for you, Family Leisure is having a summertime to party sale. Now, what's all included in this party sale? Practically everything. 24-foot above ground pools for as little as $19.99. All ladders, filter systems, and even robotic cleaners are 20% off. Come in and look at all of the in-stock patio furniture Family Leisure has. Plus, it's up to 50% off. Play gyms for the kids, that's $1,000 off. Patio umbrellas, take 20% off. You can get a 4-person hot tub for just under $3,000. We know you're really going to just use it for yourself. Family Leisure has discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while the supplies last, so you better get in quick. Plus, Family Leisure has special financing available. Just ask an associate for all the details. Summertime means party time, and Family Leisure is ready for any party. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous, a legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, SIG, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Quicky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. Life-changing. You could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its heat-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wallow said hello.
Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg. East Memphis eggs. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill. All with a lifetime warranty. Ready to cook in only 15 minutes with good temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between. Change your at-home cooking experience for life with our unmatched all-night wood-fired grill flavor that has our customers raving. Import Big Green Egg and all our accessories at East Memphis Ace on the corner of South Flag Station and Quince Road.
Now back to Sportstime on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand.
It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brad, I think we should shake it up today, and you go first today.
I feel like Pedro Griffo, the big number of the day. We're shaking it up.
There we go.
My big number is 3, as in third pick in the draft last spring was Drake May from North Carolina, and there's been a lack of success for North Carolina quarterbacks in the NFL. They just roll out NBA star one after another, but they have it in the NFL, and it really, in either side, offense or defense, and certainly not at quarterback. He is just the – no, there's only 3 North Carolina Hall of Famers. Last weekend, Julius Peppers went in. And, of course, Lawrence Taylor and Chris Hamburger. Looked like Hamburger, but it was Hamburger. He went in. No offensive players. 3, again, my big number, defensive players in. I went through the list of great North Carolina NFL quarterbacks. Maybe T.J. Yates.
Oof. Yeah, I was about to say it's
Trubisky was
pretty skinny.
Huge bust.
Oh, yeah, it sure was. Yeah,
there hadn't been many other options.
No, nothing that definitely comes to your head for North Carolina.
Drake May's dad played quarterback at North Carolina, but never played in the NFL. And we know about the brother.
Yes, obviously. I'm telling you, that family is
and they're Tar Heel through and through.
Yes, they are North Carolina royalty.
His brother is.
Oh yeah.
That shot here, he had a good Final Four, but that game and that day here against Kentucky, that was the finals.
Oh yeah. No, you're absolutely right about that. My big number today comes from Major League Baseball. I could have a couple big numbers, but I'll just stick with one fairly short and sweet big number, 23. smaller number than I usually go with, but that was the total amount of runs scored today between the Brewers and the Braves. 16-7. The Brewers get a win. They improved to 65-49 on the season. The Braves
going the wrong way.
Going in the wrong direction big time.
Nobody can withstand what they've had.
60-54. No, you couldn't even hope to withstand what they have gone through.
Grizzlies this year.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, and we talked about that yesterday.
Did y'all have any overaction at 16-7?
I wish I had. I had nothing in that game. 3 runs in the first, 3 runs in the second, 2 runs in the third, no runs in the fourth, 5 in the fifth, 0 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh, 0 in the eighth, 2 in the ninth. That's how Milwaukee got their 16 runs on 20 hits.
16-run pool out there anywhere?
It's got to be somewhere. Happy day.
Didn't pay off very often.
No, not very often. But somebody's very happy today if they had the Brewers on that one. We only have.
How are the Brewers doing this?
It's a great question. A fun team, but I don't think a team that you came in the season going, man, they're world beaters this year. They've really got it going on. So yeah, it has been a little surprising to see this.
Everybody
from
thought
them.
Council was was some big loss.
Oh, absolutely.
He wasn't.
No, he wasn't at all. Only one Major League Baseball game going on right now. Mets and Rockies in the bottom of the ninth. Mets with a big 9-1 lead right now as the Rockies have a man on first with 2 outs. One game about to start, Reds and Marlins. Should be an interesting game between those two teams. Marlins 43-72, Reds 55-59, needing some wins to take advantage of that Marlins team.
I was just talking about Collierville commissary Walker Taylor told me today at lunch that he went to a Mets game.
Oh, wow.
And I've heard Citi Field is just fantastic.
Yeah.
That it's something to see.
Sure. Yeah, no, it looks really good.
Really good.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I love hearing about all of these Major League Baseball ball.
I want to get to them all.
Yeah, I mean, you hear really good things about a handful of them. The Padres, their ballpark is supposedly outstanding. Pittsburgh's got a really good one.
Pittsburgh. I can vouch for San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, they've got San Francisco,
Atlanta, New Texas.
That's the one I've got to get to is Globe Life down in Arlington.
Ranger Dogs, all that.
Oh, really? A little Ranger Dog
Marks
action.
Turned me on to that.
There you go. So what comes on a Ranger Dog?
It was not cardiology approved.
Well, okay.
It was bacon and a lot of stuff.
Things I can get behind is what it sounds like. That's what I'm here for because not a ton that I can get behind, but I can definitely. It seems like a Ranger Dog would not have a lot
Cincinnati,
that I can get with.
Good, not great.
Sure.
Great American Ballpark.
Yeah.
I said they should rename it Good American Ballpark.
Good American Ballpark.
It was just good.
I like
that. Busch Stadium. I think Busch Stadium is just good.
Yeah. That's the only Major League ballpark I've been in is Busch. Haven't been to any of the other ones, but I got to get around a few of them. But it should be a good slate of baseball tonight. Some good games, kind of fighting. I said it's going to be a lot in NFL, maybe only NFL. But I'll be probably fighting there a little bit.
I want to go to Detroit and see Johnny and go to a Tigers game.
You got to. That would definitely be a fun one. In Detroit last night, a big win. Trick Skubal on the mound. Hard to bet against Trick Skubal when he's pitching. They get the big win over the Mariners last night on the road in Seattle. So some really good baseball action going on in the major leagues. But we need to go ahead and wrap up this hour and get to a break. When we come back, we're talking all things Tigers with Greg Gaston.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Harriet jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. For nearly 2 decades, we've installed some of the best roof systems across the Mid-South. To the tens of thousands of clients we've served, we are honored. So many of you call our team at Brian Elder Roofing your roofers. Our team is dedicated to serving you and keeping your family safe, dry, and mold-free. The recent hailstorms have caused massive damage, and many of these will go unnoticed for years, even though the golf ball-sized hail we just experienced in the Mid-South compromises even the best-built roof system. Whether we find damage or not, your photos are securely stored for future reference. Call Brian Elder Roofing today for a total evaluation of your entire roof system free. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. Call me at 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303. Or visit us online at brianelderroofing.com.
Picture this, a stranger with a crowbar. Pries open a window. A fire breaks out in the kitchen. In moments like these, every second counts. That's why you need Simply Safe Home Security. Their 24/7 monitoring agents act within 5 seconds of receiving your alarm, assessing the situation, and sending emergency responders. Go to simplysafecolin.com to save 20% on a new system today. Just go to simplysafecolin.com. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
I think a lot about golf, and when I think golf, I think Miramichi. Did you know Miramichi Golf Course offers membership? It's a great way to play more golf for less out of pocket. Their memberships run for $300 a month plus tax, and that includes unlimited rounds and range balls, no extra card fees, priority tee time booking, and discounts in the pro shop. Oh, by the way, there's no initiation fee. Miramichi green fees, they'll allow you to choose the right rate at the right time on the right day for your needs. If morning tee times are more important, you can book up to 14 days ahead of time to reserve your spot. If rate is more important to you, there are discounted evening rates available that you can choose from. You'll find the lowest rates on Tuesday through Thursday afternoons. Sometimes you just need to escape the hustle and bustle of life. Miramichi Golf Course provides just the right place to solve that need. The name Miramichi means place of happy retreat. When you need a quiet, peaceful round of golf, please make your way to Miramichi.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
Sports 56 traffic.
A little bit more volume in the last few minutes trying to get out of the Midtown area. Southbound on 240 from Union down past Norris. It looks pretty decent right now on 240 getting on to 385 Billmores Parkway. We're expecting it to get a little bit more crowded probably in the next 10-15 minutes over here on 40 East from, let's say, Sycamore View Road all the way out into Fayette County. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service, family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Oh, yeah. From the Tigers sideline, it's Tigers Talk with Memphis broadcasting legend Greg Gaston. Hear Greg weekday mornings on Sports 56 Mornings, along with Eli Savoy from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. On Twitter X at Greg_Gaston. Here's Greg with Bryant and Brett.
Welcome back into Sports Time as we start our 5 o'clock hour, and Greg Gaston joins us like he does every Thursday to talk Memphis Tigers. And Greg, we're getting closer and closer to Week 1's game against North Alabama. Earlier today, Ryan Silverfield was on with Paul Feinbaum. A couple days ago, Harry Lyles Jr.
We got to work on the graphics.
Well, we do got to worry about the graphics, but he was there nonetheless. A couple days ago, Harry Lyles Jr. from ESPN wrote a story about this Memphis team and its clear path to the playoffs. It feels like Memphis is getting a lot of national buzz only weeks away from their season opener against North Alabama.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. By the way, what happened with graphics with
lower third?
Feinbaum?
Lower third, Chiron, head coach of Kansas.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, really?
Yeah.
One job, but
come
Brian,
on, SEC Network.
That's right.
Come on.
No question that this has been going on since the spring. That Memphis is garnering all this attention with a 12-team playoff. Obviously, if it was still a 14 playoff, this wouldn't be a part of anybody's conversation, but it is because the group of 5 and one team will be included in that playoff. Certainly, you'd love to have more, but that's never going to happen, and at least they're part of the party. And Memphis is part of the equation, and they hope to be, in the end, that team. So, yes, there's going to be a lot of national buzz with everybody else, of course, around the area, around locally and and regionally. But, the national buzz is great. Talk is cheap. But I can tell you this, Ryan's going to do every interview he's asked to do. He's going to talk about it ad nauseum. But I can tell you on the inside, he's thinking, all right, let's stop. Okay, I've had enough of this stuff. I know what the situation is. You know what the situation is. Now we got to get down and get it done. We got to get down and dirty in practice. We have to have a great camp. We have to come out of it feeling really good about ourselves with not only our starters identified, but our depth chart identified, and then get the business and go out there and do what many people believe they can do.
Greg, what I love most about this, even with the error on the name of the school, but on Paul Feinbaum's show, and Paul is from Memphis and very conscious and aware of, and I think Paul Feinbaum it knows that the history of Tiger football is probably better than most nationally stereotype and identify with. He knows of Coach Murphy's success. He knows of the big wins through the years, and he knows of if we had the bowl picture then we have now, there would be a lot more Tiger bowl season appearances. I think he knows that. But I love the confirmation from out there, not just here. It's not just a WHBQ thing or a Memphis talk show thing or a Memphis media thing. You're getting that confirmation out there, and those people aren't doing it. Hey, let's join in on the fun and hype Memphis. It's for real.
You hit it on the head, first of all, about Feinbaum. Feinbaum is going to always, not always, but when it's necessitated, he's going to speak glowingly about the city and the program.
Yeah,
yeah, he's very favorable. And to have a guy as important of a journalist or of a media member
he
in this business of college football, right, with the SEC connection, that is fantastic to have him talking about Memphis. As far as the rest of the national narrative, why wouldn't you? We have a whole different world. We have a 12-team playoff. There is going to be a team from the group of 5, a champion from one of those conferences that is involved. So why not have that discussion, especially now when there haven't been any games played? So there's going to be talk about Memphis. There's going to be talk about a few other teams in the American. There's going to be talk about Boise. There's going to be talk about Liberty. There's a few other schools, maybe App State, that are out there that are certainly capable. But it's part of the conversation. Whether some people don't like it or whether they love it, it is part of the narrative of college football this season.
And I asked Greg Sankey, and Bright and I, in our conversation with him at SEC Media Days at the desk, I asked him, why did you agree to this deal when you could have, I think, gone for 12 at-larges? And he said he had to play nice with others. And I think the biggest reason, Greg, is they don't want to get sued. You said there won't ever be a slot for the AAC, and I agree at 12. At 14, I think I still agree. At 16, they may have to for fear of lawsuit.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that point, but it's a good point. But you think about the direction we're going in, and you always hear the conversation about, well, there could be the breakaway of the Big Ten and the SEC, or there could be the, the 4 power conferences that break away from the group of 5, and then it's a separate level. I mean, they certainly could have looked at that possibility. They probably talked about that possibility. But, yeah, when you start talking about legal ramifications, that certainly comes into play. But also, while most conferences still have the not 8-4 setup, I think some of the 9-3 setup, if I'm not mistaken, as far as conference versus non-conference opponents, you're still going to need those schools. You're going to need those foes, unless you're going to play all within the power conference, play your conference games, and then play other power conference teams as your non-conference. I mean, now you're talking about a complete breakaway. So while it's still the way it is right now, you have to be inclusive, and they are, with the invite of at least the one conference champion from the group of 5, and to have those teams available to play on whatever that school's schedule may be. They don't all seek that, but most of them do seek out a group of 5 team or 2. Some even obviously go down to the FCS level and pick a 1AA school. But that could be going away here in the future. I know the SEC has done that an awful lot with the 1 per school, not necessarily every school. But the point is, again, you have to play nice. I think you have to be inclusive. But who knows what will happen way down the road as they continue to talk about the possibility of the complete breakaway.
Yeah. I know there's been a lot of talk about the running back position for the Tigers this year, and you look at it, Mario Anderson comes in from South Carolina, but Sutton Smith, a guy that has been here for now a couple of years, this coaching staff has been very high on him really ever since he stepped foot on campus. You've seen those flashes. You've seen some really good games from him. Everybody remembers his play against Iowa State in the bowl game last year. When you look at this backfield, at the running back position, how do you think it will shake out? What will it look like this season?
Well, Mario Anderson was the leading rusher for South Carolina, had well over 700 yards, and he's doing that, some of it against, and most of it against SEC competition.
And they wanted to keep him.
Yeah, they definitely did.
They wanted to keep him, and could have easily been that guy for this upcoming season. So he comes in clearly as the number 1 running back. But Sutton Smith, who, again, as you said, showed signs last year, and specifically in the game against Iowa State in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, will be the guy that will come in, especially third and long situations. They'll swing in passes. Anderson caught 21 or 22 passes in South Carolina, but he's not known as this big receiving back. Sutton Smith could be the change of pace running back. Hopefully he continues to progress. I think he's been a little bit underwhelming. I hope that he can step up this year and have the big year that everybody expected. I still think he's very capable. He's a heck of an athlete. Then they also have the veteran Brandon Thomas, who has had a very interesting career where he has had flashes of brilliance, then injury taking him out for the season a couple of times, but he is going to be the short yardage back. They'll use Mario, of course, who's a power back, but they will also use Thomas near the goal line, 4th down situation. So I don't want to call it a 3-headed monster because it's not going to be all evenly divided as far as their carries are concerned, but they're all going to be used in one role or another, and hopefully it doesn't have to go much deeper than that. They're not extremely deep like they've been before with running backs because a couple of guys have left to jump into the portal, but I think they're very strong with those 3, especially led by Mario Anderson. Again, anytime you can bring in SEC caliber a player like him, you feel pretty good about yourself.
Greg Gaston with us on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line, and you hear him every single morning with Eli Savoy from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Greg, I promise you, I do not mean this at all contentious. I would not walk you into something like that. I sure wouldn't try to. So if you want to defer, please defer. But here's the question. Who needs this sports year more, Penny Hardaway or Ryan Silverfield?
That's a good question. I had posed a question on X the other day.
Your Twitter provoked me.
Yeah, I had the Grizzlies in there as well, so I had 3 options for people, the importance of the upcoming season. I think it's really, really important for Penny Hardaway, I think, to have that team that he has now, a brand-new team, get to the NCAA tournament and hopefully win a game in the NCAA tournament. I'm not saying that Penny's job by any stretch of the imagination is on the line, but certainly you have a new AD. You're trying to make a nice statement here for Dr. Scott as he comes in. He knows, of course, the greatness of Penny Hardaway, the player, the community guy, the alumni, the alum rather, and what he means to this community. So I think after last year, Penny is on a mission to have this team ready to go and to get back to where they belong in the NCAA tournament. And, of course, when you look at the conference, now the loss of SMU, it looks like Florida Atlantic's been dismantled a bit. There's no reason why Memphis doesn't roll and win the conference. And I know last year they ran into roadblocks, and that was awful. But that's why I think it's more important for the basketball team to get back to where they belong in the NCAA tournament. Now, I'm not diminishing the importance of the football team. This year sets up to try to accomplish something they've never accomplished, and then, of course, try to do something that's only been around, well, this will be the first year, a 12-team playoff. So to try to get to an actual playoff, but win a conference championship, which has eluded them, and to hit heights that they've never hit. So it's extremely important. But if Memphis football wins 10 games again and they come up a little bit short, there'll be some upset people, no question, and there'll be disappointed people. Ryan Silverfield among them, the top of the list. But I don't think it's going to be as important. It's important, but not as important as it will be for men's basketball to get back to the NCAA tournament. That's just my opinion.
Greg, you answered that much better than I asked it, and I appreciate the candor and the great lucid answer you gave. Really was.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it was a fair question. Again, something that I sort of posed on Twitter, like I said. So, no, I think that's something that people will be discussing, Brett, as we move forward. But
the easy
it doesn't
answer
take away.
is both.
Well, right, and I
the end
want
of trading
to give you an
places. You want the chicken or the beef? Well, let's have both.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you asked me a question. I want to give you an answer, but it's obviously it's very important.
Thank you.
And it's extremely important for the Grizzlies as well.
Yeah. Greg, I know we've talked a little bit about this defense, but I saw earlier this week new defensive coordinator Jordan Hankins spoke to the media, and there was one quote in there where he said something along the lines of, after being asked about schemes, that schemes are not that, his scheme isn't that important right now. He's going to put the best 11 guys on the field to compete. What do you expect? We saw, kind of going back to the Iowa State game, we saw him in charge of that defense against Iowa State, but very little time to kind of implement what he wanted to do before that game. What do you expect a Jordan Hankins defense to look like with all of these newcomers?
Well, he did throw us a curveball, and what he ended up doing defensively in that game, and it was the right move. He pushed all the right buttons. For example, I'll tell you, when we have our coaches' meetings, we are privy to information that other media members do not get. Brett, you know all about this. You cover a team if you're part of the broadcast
Don't dare talk
team.
Injuries.
But
or trick plays.
Except the SEC is now going to go to that injury report.
Still don't
talk. No, you don't, but we still do, and we still talk about the whole situation scheme for a particular opponent and all that. The point I'm making is that in the week leading up to the AutoZone Liberty Bowl and talking to Coach Hankins, who was going to run the defense with Matt Barnes' departure to Mississippi State, he sort of led us down one avenue and then did an about fake and went a different direction. So he gave us the head fake, and I could be honest with you, I understood that and kind of laughed about it. But, as broadcasters, and especially Dave Woloshin, who's the play-by-play guy, you want to kind of have a better feeling of where you're going with this. He threw a curveball. It obviously worked against Iowa State. Now, when he says, well, scheme, and I might do that, I don't know right now. I got to get a better feel for Coach Hankins and what he's divulging out there. Sure, he's going to get the best players to play on the field. You can't say it's going to be the 11 best players. How about if 6 of them are defensive backs? And, you got to have the right guys on the defensive front to rush the quarterback. You have to have the right linebackers. You have to have the right defensive backs. I think there's about 6 spots that are sewn up. I think there's some that are still up for grabs. But as far as the scheme is concerned, I do believe what we talked about last week is apropos, that he will mix it up and probably scheme towards the opponent as opposed to just a blanketed defense. I'm going to run this system, and it's going to be the same system every week with maybe a tweak or two. I think he's actually going to – he's not going to complicate it for these players to make it too hard to comprehend, but I think he's definitely going to look at different ways. You're going into a Navy game, maybe a lot different than you're going up against Tulane or you're going up against Florida State.
Daylight and dark.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think he will he will change it up in that manner. But certainly he's looking for the best players to be out there on the field. Every coach is.
If y'all remember this, in the Ole Miss Sugar Bowl win over Oklahoma State, and right before halftime had the trick play, a lot of people thought it was a pass, but he had to come back behind the line of scrimmage, and it was actually a lateral from Chad Kelly to Laramie Tunsil, and he scored, and the stadium almost was torn down. The game was effectively over at halftime. That game was on a Friday night. I'm at the practice on Wednesday where they ran that play on the last thing of practice, and standing there with a couple other radio crew members, and Hugh Freeze came over and said, "If y'all breathe a word of this, you're walking home."
They are. This just it. Coaches are paranoid.
Yeah.
They don't want to give us the information, but Coach Silverfield and his staff, they do a pretty good job in alerting us to things. Coach Cramsey's great. He won't give us maybe a specific play or two, but it'll kind of give us a little wink and a little smile. Like if we say, you're going to take some shots early or things like, he goes, I got something. I like
the information when they kind of tell you who they're targeting on the other team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That is also discussed during these meetings.
You're going to try to pick on this free safety?
Yes. Well, in fact, Rolo will ask, he says, who do you think you could pick on here in the secondary? Who
do you have no prayer against? I mean, run every play away from this guy.
The praise of some of these players, you would think they're the second coming of Aaron Donald and Lawrence Taylor and Dick Butkus. And then on offense, some of the greats like Montana, Jerry Rice, and Gale Sayers, for goodness sakes, Walter Payton. So, they're always building up these players, but they will give you some information about which way they may go and what they may try to do without giving you specific plays and things of that nature. Not that they don't trust us, but they don't need to give us all that information. They just have to give us some information.
A few years ago, playing Alabama, and Will Anderson, one of the members of the coaching staff, at the very top of the coaching staff, said, we're running everything we can away from 32, away from Will Anderson. He goes, and then he goes, but any idiot could tell you all that. Everybody's got to do that.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Talking to Greg Gassney, he joins us every week to talk the Tigers. Over to the basketball court, we talked to you last week, but the day after that, Memphis announced that they would be adding La Tech to the schedule. December 4th is what it's being reported.
Playing a lot of Bulldogs.
In FedEx Forum. A lot of Bulldogs on the schedule. Yes, you're absolutely right. What do you think of the addition of La Tech, and now with that, because I think we've talked about it, I know Brett and I have talked about it, it felt like before this game was added that maybe that was it, and you would get a couple more games added, but they would be the traditional bye games and kind of look-ahead games. But now adding La Tech to the schedule, what do you make of this non-conference schedule that Penny Hardaway's put together?
They need to add Georgia, right, Brett?
Literally.
They need to add Georgia
Gonzaga.
Bulldogs. Get them back on the schedule. Look, they have a couple bye games that they had to come up with, and instead of maybe going real regional, they went, and Louisiana's just down the road. It's not too far. It's not like they're bringing in somebody from California. It's a team they should handle. I mean, it's not a big name, but it's certainly a decent name. You have to try to make the home schedule as attractive as possible, but I don't think people are running out of their homes to go over to the box office to buy season tickets because La Tech's on the schedule. It's just one of those things. And there's, I think, one more that they have to add. And again, we talked about it before. It'll be another one of those bye teams. It'll be
but it's no gimme.
Jackson. No. Hey, the way it ended last year, and it's a whole new team. Nothing's a gimme.
That's a good point.
But I would think you're probably going to get a Tennessee Tech, a Jackson State, something like that. It would be nice if it was one more big time opponent for the fans' sake, but probably not for the Tigers' sake. They are playing a very tough schedule. They always do because they have to. They have to put together a formidable non-conference schedule to make up for the conference. And if you're going to be anywhere seated from 5 to 6 to 7 as opposed to 9 or 10 or even higher, depending on how well you do, you have to play teams that are going to be top 25 or at least challenging the top 25. Because if you play a bunch of Patsies in your 13 non-conference, you're not going to get that seed. And if by chance you lose in the conference championship game, assuming you reach it, then you may not even get in that large. Memphis is never in that situation because they're always playing somebody challenging on their non-conference side of their schedule. Penny is always trying to make deals with the best out there. He has never shied away from any of these teams, wanting to play them. A lot of teams have turned them down because they don't want to come to Memphis. They don't want to do a home and home. They may want to do a neutral. You could have only so many neutral games, as you guys know, because you have to have a home schedule. So I think the schedule, once again, is challenging. Obviously, going on the road to play in Hawaii, to go out there and battle in Maui. And it's nice that Lahaina, although on the rebuild, the high school gym, if you will, the arena will be back and operational, and they'll be able to play. But that challenge, and even just going on the road to San Francisco right before going to Hawaii, playing the Dons on the road at the Golden State Warriors home, going to UNLV to play in Vegas on another long road trip, which is just the single game. And then all the other teams that we've talked about, including the regional battles with Ole Miss and with Mississippi State. So, yeah, it's a challenging schedule. I would imagine that in the next 30 days we'll have the schedule announced. They'll have it complete. We'll probably get information when that next bye game, which I think is the last one they need, will probably come out. Somebody will have that story, and then the schedule will follow.
Yeah, I'm really hoping we get Maui soon. It feels like about this time is when any day now we should be figuring out what that schedule will look like.
Yes.
Over for Maui, which no easy games there for sure.
No.
That is a completely loaded field over there. But Greg, as always, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, sounds good, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Greg.
Greg Gaston talking Tigers with us, and next week we may get an in-person appearance.
Might, yes.
May not, because he may want to get out of there a little earlier. Been out there all day.
Sure, but yeah, we might get a lot of in-person guests next week at the golf tournament.
We sure could. Looking forward to it, and part of our coverage will be all the leaderboards will be brought to you by Sissy's Log Cabin. Sissy's Log Cabin, a fabric of the community. They're the official jeweler of the hometown teams, the Grizzlies and the Tigers. That great location at 4542 Poplar. Bill Jones and his team here to stay. Supporter of Tiger athletics and sponsor coming up during football season when we look back at the SEC on Mondays at 4:30. 9,000 square feet in Laurelwood with expanded lines for Rolex, Cartier, diamonds, and more. The Mid-South's largest selection of one-of-a-kind jewelry, engagement rings, wedding bands, necklaces, earrings. If you need something repaired, if you need something resized, they can do it for you since 1970 with all the great locations across the Mid-South. Sissy's offers a selection of diamonds, estate jewelry, and fine gifts. And at FedEx Forum with the Floor Seat Lounge, they are the sponsors of that. Unsurpassed value, exceptional service, expansive selection, and an extraordinary shopping experience because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Well, let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk about what's trending.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Summertime's finally here, and that means it's time to party. Lucky for you, Family Leisure is having a summertime to party sale. Now, what's all included in this party sale? Practically everything. 24-foot above ground pools for as little as $19.99. All ladders, filter systems, and even robotic cleaners are 20% off. Come in and look at all of the in-stock patio furniture Family Leisure has. Plus, it's up to 50% off. Play gyms for the kids, that's $1,000 off. Patio umbrellas, take 20% off. You can get a 4-person hot tub for just under $3,000. We know you're really going to just use it for yourself. Family Leisure has discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while the supplies last, so you better get in quick. Plus, Family Leisure has special financing available. Just ask an associate for all the details. Summertime means party time, and Family Leisure is ready for any party. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together.
There is no reason to suffer the Memphis summer heat when you could just haul yourself downtown to Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect neighborhood bar. There's nothing like the cool, comfortable atmosphere at Bell Tavern. Just grab a table or a stool at the bar and watch the poor suckers that don't know any better walk by in the withering heat in Barbaro Alley when they could be like you, inside Bell Tavern, laughing at other people. I know, it's not nice to laugh at other people, but when they're walking right past Bell Tavern, well, honestly, they kind of have it coming.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. For nearly 2 decades, we've installed some of the best roof systems across the Mid-South. To the tens of thousands of clients we've served, we are honored. So many of you call our team at Brian Elder Roofing your roofers. Our team is dedicated
insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsofMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Quicky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. I'm watching the interstate slow down both 40 east and westbound. Out there in Fayette County around the 35-mile marker. Usually when it looks like this, there's been an accident to slow it down in both directions. Again, it appears to be out there in Fayette County. Now, it's picked up a little bit more volume over here on 240 east up by Poplar, Walnut Grove. Still moving to the south of Memphis on 55 going southbound down into DeSoto County. Weimer's Jewelry right here in Memphis. They specialize in bridal ring purchases, and they have since 1984. Go by and see them. Shop local. Save a lot of money at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we got about 30 minutes left in today's show. We got to talk about what's trending, and the first thing that's trending right now is obviously the golf tournament next week here in Memphis, but it could be a while before we know what that full field looks like. This came out about an hour ago, a little bit less than an hour ago, from PGA Tour Communications. The first round of the Wyndham Championship will not begin before 8:50 a.m. Eastern Time Friday. The PGA Tour Rules Committee will determine updated starting times after assessing the golf course Friday morning. They're getting hit with the remnants of the hurricane that's been going through the East Coast. And, yeah, so hopefully tomorrow morning they start the first round, but still kind of up in the air.
It is. I don't know if they can get 72 in.
It's going to be tough.
And
be really tough
to punch tickets and for FedEx Cup playoffs and to determine who's here for the first leg of the playoffs next week. I know they don't want to. It's not ideal, but you may have to. Just no scenario. They could play today, if for nothing else, for emergency personnel and other people for the epic record historic flooding, once in a 1,000-year condition for South Carolina. Not as bad in Greensboro, but not good. And tomorrow, getting started that late, I maybe get in the first round and into half the second round.
Maybe.
Then you got to do that again. A lot has to go right.
I mean, and it has to be a tight ship. Everything has to be timely. So I think
we've been there here when the tournament used to be week before 1999. When we talk about record rains.
Oh, man.
And Brian, I think I've showed you out at TPC Southwind, that area to the left of 10. So if you're standing on 10 tee box, that used to be a parking area. There were cars out there floating like little kid bathtub toys.
Jeez.
I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And finally finished on Monday. Ted Treba was the winner. And everybody was wanting to get the heck out of Dodge to get to the U.S. Open.
Of course.
And it left our finish on Monday, with the feeling of it being very unfulfilled, but you just have to understand it. And Greensboro will get some of that, and I hate it for them.
Oh, definitely. And looking at the weather tomorrow for Greensboro, it looks like most of it will be out. There are chances of thunderstorms in the morning, about a 65% or so chance in the really early hours of the morning. I'm talking 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. But still, chances in the day, I mean, we've got about a 30% chance. I know very low.
They're going to need time in the morning to work on the course.
Exactly. And so, I mean, you talk about that. You got to go assess the golf course. Then you got to figure out what the plan is from there. You start, what happens if afternoon you get a pop-up thunderstorm from everything that's been going through there. And, I mean, it could really be an ugly weekend in Greensboro for that tournament.
And we've had that in the course people when it's weather marred like that. It's something, this is when we had the tournament last year.
Yes.
And when we will have it next year. But it was a week later because of the Olympics this year. The rest of this weekend and this forecast. Next week's not bad.
No, I haven't looked at the
I see a high of
yet.
90, 91, a lot of cloud
that's
cover.
Not bad at all. I'll take that.
That's better than it was in June.
Oh, yeah. And Brett, after golf tournament last year.
Oh, that Friday.
I will definitely take that. But, man, this weekend, tomorrow, high 84. Sunday, high 86. Today was a high of 88.
You know what, this weekend, a couple of those lows Saturday and Sunday morning.
Or in the low 60s.
The very famous saying, feels like football season.
That's right. Oh, man. Don't get me started. But, yeah, looking right now on my weather app, Wednesday, high of 91. Thursday, high of 92. Friday, high of 91. Saturday, high of 92. I'll take that. That's fine.
We can take that.
Yes, I can get through that.
It's not. Nobody's going to need to wear a light jacket, but we can handle that.
No, but I can definitely get through that for sure. But yeah, it could be a wild weekend for the PGA Tour.
Yeah, and important for our defending champion, Lucas Glover.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so interesting because there are guys that are right there on that line, right outside, and you have a good weekend this weekend, you could definitely get in. And if something happens and they're not able to do that, yeah, it could get wild.
With the firing of Pedro Grifol for the White Sox, he was not very high in AL manager for seniority. He was going into the day before the firing. He was 13th. Is that right?
Wow, man, that sounds about right.
He was 12th.
Okay.
One spot behind him, Steve Voigt, then Ron Washington and Joe Espada. So, that doesn't shake that up. Number one seniority in the American League, Kevin Cash.
Wow. Holy cow.
And on that budget he's on,
yeah,
which is not much.
Not much at all.
Scott Cervais in Seattle second, Aaron Boone third, Rocco Baldelli fourth. In the National League, Dave Roberts with the Dodgers, Brian Snitker with the Braves. Both of them have World Series titles. Bud Black third. And I thought he would be the first one gone this year.
Bud Black has found ways to keep a job. It is impressive. But I think we can maybe see a change there probably
sure
soon.
Could. Torey Lovello fourth and went to the World Series last year with the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, so no, that's definitely a good list at the top. Certainly, I mean, the AL list at the top could get a little interesting. Seattle crumbles at the end. Hitting's been an issue. The Yankees.
Aaron, famous middle name Boone, good.
Exactly. I mean, there's a couple at the top of that list that I wouldn't be surprised.
If he goes out in the first round, the first thing I'm going to say the next day.
What's that?
The old man wouldn't have taken this.
Oh, no, not at all.
George Steinbrenner would have fired him 10 times.
Oh, yeah. So I just, unless they go out there and produce with this lineup that they have, I think there would definitely be a change in New York.
Cardinals tonight, they enter tonight's game 7-1 against the AL East. That's and a major league best 18-5 against the AL East since the beginning of the 2023 season, according to Cardinal Game Notes written by Michael Whitty.
I love that. Great stuff from the Cardinals Game Notes. But Brett, I've got to say, I am proud of us. I think we've done a great job today because it is 5:36 and we have not congratulated the St. Louis Cardinals back-to-back wins.
2 in a row.
I mean, we're back.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
I'm not saying thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Connor.
Yes. I don't know if we should get that excited about back-to-back wins. I don't know if they're back necessarily, but I did think the Rays would give them trouble, and it hasn't been easy. Both of these games have been – yesterday was easier than the first game, but it hadn't been easy. But, hey, win's a win.
I love the Pirate announcers. I kind of pull for the Pirates because they have a lot working against them.
Definitely.
Somebody needs to tell their announcers they're not in the pennant race. They're not in the wild card race, and they had another heartbreaker today.
They definitely believe it for sure, and I think it's kind of gaining traction places, Brett, I think, people want the Pirates to be this feisty underdog fighting for a spot in the playoffs.
Well, I want that too, but I look at the standings and
it's tough.
They're 10th.
Yeah.
They're ahead of 5 teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's definitely a big
let their
time.
announcers know that.
Well, yes.
They're calling every pitch like it's Game 7.
I love that. I'll have to tune in.
Like Bruce Keeson's on the mound in the 71
That's
series.
Great. That's awesome. Well, you got to have that. And you're right. Today was not what they wanted. A 7-6 loss to the Padres, another team that's really hot right now. They're now 64
Padres are good.
and 52. But the problem for the Pirates today, 12 hits, they get 6 runs. Padres win that game, 7 hits, 7 runs. So just could not get those base runners in for the Pirates. So they lose today. We talked about some games earlier today, some other finals that we have now. Giants, they get a 9-5 win over the Nationals. That game was a 11 a.m. start. It just ended here in the last hour as they got really delayed because of rain. Mets 9-1 win over the Rockies. Right now, bottom of the second, Reds on top of the Marlins, 2-0. And then, let's see, 3, 4, 5, only 5 games tonight in Major League Baseball.
Who will you be for in the bronze medal game at the Olympics? Serbia or Germany?
That is a great question.
Don't know if I really want to get in a fight, tussle with either one of them.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a side. Maybe I've always kind of liked Dennis Schroeder, so maybe Germany. I don't know.
I like Jokic.
I like Jokic too. Can't go wrong. I mean,
you think he'll be around for 2028 in Los Angeles?
Well, I mean, you talk about players that do they really want to be there? That is the question.
He could be way off the grid.
He definitely could.
And he wants to go full Cat Stevens in retirement.
When he's done,
never be heard from. Might come back to a couple reunions.
Yes,
but
he definitely the saying of players when they retire. Wonder what he's doing now. That is what he wants everyone to be saying about him. Is wonder what Jokic is doing
with those horses.
Now. Yes, out there with those horses. So that is a good question.
Banking a lot of cash.
I'll say yes, but I would not be surprised if he's not in 2028.
And Steph Curry will not be back, and he had a great day today.
Oh, an unbelievable day.
I hope while we're sitting here kind of in our own little world, we don't know what the rest of the reaction is out there in national sports commentariat. I hope people are just satisfied with winning.
I hope so. And it feels like I've been on Twitter since the end of the game, kind of seeing reactions, and it feels like...
And that's the paragon of all great reactions.
Yes. Well, and the thing is, I mean, you feel pretty good if you don't see everybody complaining on Twitter about something. You feel pretty good that everyone's
a little left out.
In a good mood about it. But looking at Twitter, it feels like everybody just happy that they won. Who cares how it happened? We're just happy that they got the W.
I feel the same way about the gold medal game.
Yes, just win, and all will be well.
It's a very young French team playing France, but at their place, and what do they have to lose?
And that's
they get this one. France is thinking we go on a couple Olympics runs.
Sure, and I mentioned it earlier when talking about that game now set between USA and France. It's been great environments already for France. I mean, if anybody that has watched France play a basketball game, France playing any sport in this Olympics, those citizens have come out in full force.
They got into golf last weekend.
They certainly did. And so it's been great environments for that French men's basketball team in those games. So they're going to bring it Saturday against Team USA. They already hate Joel Embiid. After the game, he was walking off, encouraging the booing from the fans. So he's going to get it a lot on Saturday. So it's going to be a great environment, and that's going to go against USA, because like we were saying earlier, yes, when they're playing Serbia, everybody in there that is not just a USA fan is cheering for Serbia over USA. But on Saturday, when it's USA versus France, if they start like they did against Serbia and go down early, it's going to be a real tough uphill battle for them against that fans.
What time is tip-off Saturday?
2:30, I believe.
Our time?
2:30. Yeah, so it'll be a great time for us.
That'll be a fun TV number. Now, the Olympics TV numbers, you kind of just get them in block.
Yes.
You don't get, from 2 to 4, it was just kind of that day.
Right.
It swamped Hall of Fame last week. It was like 30 million over the course of the day for the Olympics.
It's been
to,
really
to
good
5
numbers.
million for the Hall of Fame.
It's been really, really good numbers for NBC.
You can't figure out what it is at night. I bet Darian and I know the TV people can, but at some of the media sites, you can't get that. No matter what new Chevy or pre-owned car you're looking for, our friends at All-Star Chevy, they have it on the lot or in the showroom in Olive Branch. They have it right now. First exit into Mississippi is Kraft Goodman Road on Highway 78, and you're there. All-Star Chevy's end of summer sale. It's ongoing. Together, let's drive what we really want to drive. Pick out 2 or 3 cars to test drive, and you can. If you can't find it on the lot there, you can't find it anywhere. You'll see 20 to 30 new Silverados marked down as much as 12% to save you thousands. Every Tahoe you could want for road trips and tailgating, they have it. Law enforcement, first responders, healthcare workers, military, college students, college grads get an extra $500 bonus back. Look at all the pre-owned Ram trucks and Silverados they have on that lot. A Bronco, a 4Runner, Audi, a Hyundai Palisade. One sweet Corvette Stingray also sitting there in the showroom. Best week to get the most money on any vehicle you want to sell. Bring it to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get a big check today. Head to All-Star Chevrolet. Don't miss All-Star Chevy's end of summer sale. It's going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. For more information, go to allstarautogroup.com.
Well, we need to wrap up today's show, so let's grab a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get to crunch time.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
When the weather gets better, I found a new place to really soak it in. It's the patio at the Commissary in Collierville. We all love the delicious Memphis-style barbecues. You can begin your barbecue fest with some great appetizers like the cheese plate or the tamales or the barbecue nachos. Oh, those smoked chicken wings, they're terrific too. Then dig into the ribs or the barbecue shoulder. Get it chopped or pulled on a sandwich. A big sandwich, or you can get it on a plate. You've got choice, and you've got choice in places. Don't forget the Germantown Commissary as well. Comes with beans and slaw, deviled eggs they're famous for. And Brad, you can even order by the pound, a 6-pack or an 8-pack or even a 12-pack. The Boss Man salad, the chicken plate, the barbecue shrimp. There's something for everybody, and those great desserts. The best icebox lemon pie anywhere. Or my favorite, the banana pudding. Check out the patio, TVs for sports, and music on the weekends. You love the Commissary.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Admit it. When you start thinking about tastes of Memphis, you think treats, sweets. You think Dinstall's. For 122 years now. What is that, 5 generations? When people wanted something to bring to a party that will just make everybody happy, they bring out Dinstall's. 122 years of cashew crunch, of heavenly hash, of turtlettes, of their award-winning fudge. That's worldwide. It's known that well. Then there's the milk chocolate. It all starts there. There's the double-dip peanuts. And then every fall, those famous chocolate-covered strawberries with that fondant. And they won't tell you what's in the fondant, but it makes it oh so special. And easy to get to. 5 locations. There's where they make the candies in Pleasant View. There's Germantown. There's Collierville. There's even one downtown and in my neck of the woods in Laurelwood. You know what? 122 years made in Memphis and enjoyed by the whole world. Dinstall's.
There are many real estate companies out there, but then there's Banyan Tree Realtors on the Cottonville Town Square. There are hands-on, family-owned boutique real estate companies whose agents have been offering exceptional attention to their clients for over 40 years. In an ever-changing world, Banyan Tree continues to maintain a small-town personal charm while providing a worldwide connection through its internet marketing presence. Personal service will never go out of style at Banyan Tree Realtors. Their agents are people you can trust, offering service you deserve. From residential homes to commercial properties, farmland, land lots, and historical houses, Banyan Tree has the expertise you can rely on. So if you're downsizing, upsizing, moving in, or moving on, give Banyan Tree Realtors a call today. Craig Smith and Mary Jean Smith and their agents are ready to serve you. Call today at 901-620-8920 or 901-359-2520.
Drive like a pro and support a great cause during the sales drive at Landers Ford in Collierville, Landers Ford South in South Haven, and Landers Ford North in Covington. We've provided over 100 new Fords to be driven by the pros at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Now they're all being sold with demo prices. That's right. Over 100 new Fords driven by the pros are being sold with demo pricing below market value. A portion of the proceeds go directly to the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. This is a once-a-year opportunity to trade up and drive like a pro while supporting a great cause. Visit LandersMemphis.com. That's LandersMemphis.com. Or come see us at Landers Ford in Collierville, Landers Ford South in South Haven, or Landers Ford North in Covington. With our Landers Easy Pass, you can get top dollar for your trade-in to help you save even more. Don't miss your chance. Reserve your demo price new Ford driven by a pro at the FedEx St. Jude Championship and lock in low APR financing. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. An easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the babies crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
Well, Brett, what I learned today, it was not easy, but Team USA advanced to the gold medal game to play France on Saturday with their win over Serbia. Serbia came out hot. They were knocking down every shot. Defense was questionable for both sides, especially Team USA, but they were able to get through all of it. Second half, they played much, much better, and they ended up coming all the way back, outscoring Serbia 32-15 in the fourth quarter to secure that win. We talked about Steph Curry, 36 points for him. He knocked down 9 triples to lead the way for Team USA. LeBron James added 16 points, and Joel Embiid 19 down low for Team USA. And kind of a cool thing for that gold medal game on Saturday, they'll be going for gold against France. The date will be 8/10/24, and one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player of all time, Kobe Bryant, 8/24 with the Lakers, wore 10 for Team USA. So dedicate that one to Kobe and win gold. How about that?
Big number of the year stuff right here in crunch time.
I saw it on Twitter.
That's really good. And the honoring of him, we didn't talk about the other statue and more that will go up. Yeah. They can't honor him enough.
Not enough, no.
And for Vanessa Nebraska, just anything she wants, they should do. Today, I learned this earlier today. We know Bill Belichick won't be on the sideline tonight for the Patriots. He'll be new head coach Gerard Mayo. Vol for life, Gerard Mayo.
There you go.
Played at Tennessee from 2004 to 2007. Tonight, officially filling the biggest shoes in the history of the NFL. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach ever.
Yeah, and we could see Vol for life Joe Milton out there tonight for New England.
At quarterback or tight end?
At quarterback. At least starting out at quarterback.
Joe Milton.
Well, you know that
this
hype's...
time last year I had him winning the Heisman.
Well, and that hype's been building at New England. I've seen some people saying that he's been the most impressive quarterback at camp for the Patriots. Everyone gets bit by it. Joe Milton gets everybody.
That arm strength.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, he is incredible when it comes to slinging the ball.
He can throw it 75 yards on his knees.
Absolutely. I
just need him throwing an out route.
That's right. I just need him to completions. What I could have done without today, it's got to be the preseason slate tonight and some of the guys that aren't going. Bryce Young not going to play for the Carolina Panthers. Malik Neighbors likely will not play for the Giants. I get it. We want to protect the stars of this team, the future stars of these teams. But when you have two young guys, Malik Neighbors, that has never played in an NFL game before, and Bryce Young, whose team really struggled last year, and he struggled behind an offensive line that was not very good, a new head coach there in Carolina, it feels like you'd want to get him out there in that new system, make sure he's comfortable, everything, behind that new offensive line, at least early. Get him a game in or something. He'll play in preseason, but it won't be tonight. And yes, most of these complaints are definitely from me wanting to watch these guys play tonight, but we'll get through it. It's just preseason.
I could have done without this. The camp fighting has gotten full D absurd. And DK Metcalf swing a helmet at a teammate not only is dumb, but what if it landed? That's assault with a deadly weapon.
Absolutely.
DK, you don't really want your career and your great life to end like that, do you? I think now it's everyone seeing everybody else doing it, and they're all doing it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not cool.
It's childish.
It definitely is. I saw kind of the same thing at an App State practice the other day. There was video that came out of a defensive lineman grabbing the offensive lineman's helmet, ripping it off, and then trying to take a swing at him. So,
if you really want to fight, you can go out there and fight before the game starts, the practice starts, or afterwards. Tonight at all those games, pregame, they're all going to be out there big buddies.
Definitely.
If you want to throw down then. Nobody wants to fight.
No, nobody actually wants to fight. Where are you being tonight?
Let's get ready to rumble for all the hard feelings for the Lions and the Giants. The preseason game, we'll see if they really do want to fight. Laughably dumb, all this fighting. It's almost rivaling baseball Tool country.
Yes.
It's getting close.
It definitely is. Being me, honestly, to both these games tonight, I'm going to be watching a lot of both of these games. Panthers and Patriots will be the one on NFL Network. It'll be interesting to see Drake May, a lot of new with that Patriots team. And then that second game, Lions and Giants, what will we see from both of those? I was hoping to see a little bit more from the Giants as they've added a lot of pieces, a lot of new there. I wanted to see Malik Neighbors, the young receiver that everything I've heard from camp, he has been can't miss. It looks like he's going to be a superstar. Absolutely. So it'll be fun to just get some football back. I know it's preseason, but it'll definitely be a lot of fun.
From tonight through Sunday, I would love to know this. I'm going to keep up with how many quarterbacks take a snap.
That's a good question.
And it won't be a lot of starters, but it'll be a lot of different quarterbacks out there playing for only 3 preseason games for 30 teams. Last week we had the Bears in Houston. They get one more, but they can't lose time. Tonight, Phillies at Arizona. Could be the NLCS. Again, it was last year. This is why Arizona got Jordan Montgomery.
The best time of the year, NFL preseason, where you go, where'd that guy play? And, there's that guy that I used to watch on Saturdays. It's awesome. I mean,
and now we have it in college.
And now we have it in college. Yeah, even more in college now with all the transfers. Oh, yeah, that guy transferred to this place. So it'll be a lot of fun kind of learning these teams and who those players will be in the NFL this year. But that'll do it for us. That's all the time we have. Enjoy your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.